shadows lengthen in Carcosa. Strange is the night where black stars rise. Strange moons circle through the skies. Much stranger still is lost Carcosa. Song of my soul, my voice is dead. Die thou unsung as tears unshed, shall dry and die in lost Carcosa.
Welcome. This is session 10. It's session 10 of Murmurs at the Abyss in Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. If you would like to follow this game and our many other games, go to happyjacks.org/shows, right?
Yep.
Shows/shows. I am Stu. I'm your keeper.
Hi, I'm Kimi. I am playing Doris Daniels. She's an adventuress and shooty and quite mad at this point, but she's armed, so it's all fine.
That is one way to think about it.
It's all good.
My name is Jim.
Is your mic muted?
Is it? Beep there? No?
Nope. You're good.
Okay. Am I good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Once again, now that I'm
There
good,
we go. There we go. All right.
my name is Jim, and I play Isadore Holzman, and he's terrified beyond capacity for rational thought at this point, and used to be an archaeologist, is now is just a puddle of crying.
Hi, I am Pooja. I am playing Camilla Greenwald, sane librarian at the Ravenhearse Institute.
Yeah.
Has pretty much abandoned her work on the Ravenhearse Anniversary exhibition. However, I feel like they're going to have to continue that without her, as she attempts to wrangle 3 insane people.
Mm-hmm.
While also not being murdered or put in jail for murder.
Yeah. And Dave will be here in just a minute. He's playing Dr. Edward Freedman. He
Also
is,
insane.
yes, he's also... I mean, we all are insane for very good reason, I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have seen some shit. Yeah, and he is a psychologist?
He's a physician.
They don't have a specific thing in these days.
Okay. Before we do the recap and all that, we're going to do, because since we're waiting on Dave, we're going to do the character development phase. Mm-hmm. Normally we do it after the session. We haven't done one in a while.
No.
So, what everyone does is, for every skill that you have a check mark next to,
mm-hmm.
you're going to roll percentile dice, and you need to roll over your skill.
Right.
So the higher your skill gets, the harder it is to improve it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you roll your skill level or less, you don't improve it. But if you roll over your skill level, you get to add a D10 to your skill points.
Now, does that also go for the dreaming skill you gave us recently? We used it.
If you used it,
there are a couple of skills that this doesn't work for.
Correct.
Like credit grading and mythos. You
Yeah.
do not get that increase.
Yeah.
But other than that, every other skill, if you got to check, you can check for it.
Okay.
Okay, so
So all I have to do is roll better than a 1 on dreaming,
yes.
and I will improve.
Right.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, and the ones that we have check marks next to, that indicates that we've used it. So if you don't-
Succeeded.
Succeeded.
you
yes.
have to have succeeded
Yeah.
on it. So
Yes.
like,
Oh, I guess I can't improve dreaming.
yeah,
because I
none of
did
us
not.
can improve dreaming because none of us rolled the necessary 1.
Right.
Oh, sweet! I just got 9 more points of
Oh my God.
art of painting.
You know, I'll go ahead and waive the whole. You can all. See, you've had a lot of dreaming. You can all do an improvement on dreaming.
Oh, okay.
Sweet.
Otherwise, it's never going to go up. Ever,
Nope.
ever.
I mean, I could maybe roll. Maybe?
There's this very,
if we're real
very
lucky.
slight
I think the best roll we've had is a 2 in this game. I think we've had a
sounds
couple
right.
2s.
My occult went up to 75.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
If
I
you,
rolled a goose egg on the D10. It was awesome.
oh,
45 first aid.
And if anyone gets, I don't know if anyone's even close to this, but if you get a skill of 90 or more, you add 2d6 to your sanity.
Wow.
And that's a no, because I can't spot hidden for the life of me. All right.
That's a big no on library use.
Your library use is super high, though,
It's
isn't
79.
it? Right.
I wasn't expecting
hard
it to
to-
go
yeah.
up, but, like, you never know. Like, my listen just went up. I got a 97 on that roll.
Nope. Nope. Wait.
That's an 8.
So you're right. We're getting lower. Lower is success than that.
No.
No, for
No.
this,
Gotta roll
it has
For this,
to
it
be
has
higher.
to
or
be
above.
higher.
Yeah.
Of course, I rolled
No,
an
you have to
8
be above
when I
that.
don't want it.
Yeah. I know.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And my culture.
98.
good. That'll
Woohoo!
work.
All right, so rifle gets to go up. That's
Sweet.
exciting.
And then roll a d10.
Yeah.
What's 45 plus 8? 53?
3.
45 state. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I just add 3 to it. That's great.
It's better than none.
That's true.
It could have been 1 or 2.
That's
And
true.
those
I
both
did that
work.
last time. I got an improvement in 1. I was
Right.
so-
That's like when you're rolling hit points in D&D. It's like, oh, I leveled up. I can.
1.
1.
Nope. Man.
Oh, good. So first
I didn't
aid.
use that many skills, at least not successfully.
I had used a bunch, but I definitely didn't improve very many of them.
Yeah.
No, it's just I really haven't been rolling a lot of dice in this game in general.
That's true.
Mostly I've been rolling to save my own sanity and failing.
Okay, so while everyone else is still figuring out their improvements, let's talk dates. So when we were
boy, I'm
prepping
making
to
it
go to
dry.
Hambledon, it was June 8th. Did we arrive in Hambledon that day, or was it the next day?
Oh, you would have arrived the same day.
Okay, great. So this would have started on June 8th, thus making...
You've been there a day?
We then went to see
The nurse.
the other Abigail.
I now have a dreaming of 2.
Oh, excellent.
Nice.
Oh, you rolled 1.
I rolled a 1.
I have a dreaming of 4. I rolled a 3. So.
There you go.
And then we spent the night, and I think that would then put us at June 9th when we went to go see James
Okay.
Smith. I believe that would be correct. So we arrived in Hambledon and went to see the nurse on the same day.
Did you? It was in the evening. You may have waited until the next.
That's what I'm wondering about.
I think you waited until the next day. So the party arrives in Hamilton and calls on Nurse Gale North Hope.
Yeah.
Maybe it
makes
was the
sense
same day.
that if that was the same day, I would say that we started out on the 9th because we had done all kinds of stuff on the 8th. So I'm going to call that the 9th and say today is the 10th. That seems right.
10th.
I know.
Did
no
anyone-
one else cares, but it's important to my journal.
Are you kidding me? I see the ghost of Gary Gygax behind you going.
We care. It's
He
important.
had it wrong, but like,
You have a meaningful campaign.
I feel like that assumes a lot.
All right, so I rolled for like 8 or 9 skills, and I improved 2. Oh well.
But one of them was rifle.
Yeah, rifling. Too bad not handgun.
So you can empty those rifles into those things that are not affected by bullets in any
It'll
way
be great.
faster than ever before.
I had to,
I think I killed one of them with a bullet. So yeah.
You killed something. It's all good.
I wouldn't go so far as to say it's all good. No, no, it's definitely
I'm
not
trying
all
to keep a
good.
positive spin on this, man. It's not easy.
Cool.
I am actually so incredibly pleased at how incredibly south everything is going.
I feel like I'm getting the real Call of Cthulhu
100%. That's exactly right.
experience.
Legit. Like, totes legit.
It's like when when Camilla almost died from yellow fever on session 3, I was like, yes! Also, when she didn't die, I felt the same way. So.
Okay.
I guess before we get into all of this, know that especially with all of the madness going around, there will be disturbing imagery. It is a horror game. Possibly some, contemplation of self-harm, and definitely contemplation of harm to others. So just be warned.
And occasionally cruelty to animals.
Occasionally. You know what?
Never again.
It's like, why do you gotta kick somebody when they're dead?
Our best boy is safe with Dr. Kistler.
Yes. Such a fool.
Killing me, man.
All right, should we go ahead and do the recap? Who increased what? Just so I know.
Oh, I got the gimme dreaming increase from a 1 to a 4, and the only other skill that went up was my occult, which is now 75%.
Okay.
Nice. My rifle went up 3 points to 68. My first aid went up 4 points to 64, and dreaming went up 1 point
To 2.
But now you know that my occult skill is now higher than all of my professional skills.
Excellent.
Good.
As it should be.
Yeah, that makes sense. It tracks.
So my painting went up to 29. My first aid went to 45. My occult went to 53, and my dreaming went to 6.
Okay. All right. Oh, there's one other thing that you can do during this phase, and that is alter your investigator's backstory. The player is free to alter or add background entries on their investigator sheet, and when they please, subject to certain limitations. The player may not erase or alter entries listed under injuries and scars, phobias, and manias, encounters with strange entities, or anything that has been amended or added by the keeper without the keeper's permission. Phobias and manias can only be erased through use of treatment. See psychotherapy. The investigator's key connection may be altered only during the investigator development phase and only by the player. Guidance on using, losing, or replacing key connections can be found under self-help. So if anyone wants to make any changes...
I actually have a question when it comes to this, because I was reviewing this earlier today, and I did not acquire a permanent phobia or mania.
No.
From the previous thing. I actually acquired a physical injury, so my limp is permanent. So I'm not technically insane, I'm just really rattled.
Oh, no, you still have indefinite insanity.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know,
Yes,
because I
you
wanted to
still
know
have
whether
indefinite insanity.
it actually had to manifest in some actual syndrome of some sort.
It doesn't.
Okay,
It doesn't.
perfect. That was my question.
So if anyone wants to make any changes, because, I mean, there's been some relevant things that have happened in your characters' lives that may have changed some of your...
Outlooks on the world.
Right.
I kind of want to add, and this is going to sound real bad since I don't remember her name, but...
if it's a her, it's probably Abigail.
That's what we have discovered. What was the name of the hound?
Derlith.
No, not our good boy. That's the bad.
Oh, no.
Hound of Tindallos. Tindallos.
Because it should go under my encounters with strange entities.
I wonder if the GM yesterday had the lemon ginger, because that one...
That was the one that Rob had, and he was very, very anti, and I was like, just give it to me, I love it.
That's an advanced seltzer. That's not a starter seltzer. Does anyone have any...
Oh, I want to add Desdemona as one of my significant people.
Okay, all right.
Desdemona, for those of you who don't remember, as Lord knows I didn't remember the name, it was the kind of assistant gunslinger on the ship on our way over here.
Right.
And I may or may not have kind of set her and my brother up.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying, if things were to happen and they ended up getting married.
Oh, your writing is very artistic.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Thank you.
I'm like seeing all the swirls. If anyone wants to put Dr. Kistler, because at a moment of crisis, he was certainly
He was certainly there for us.
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It sounds like it would be a good one for either Isadore or Edward.
Yeah.
Encounters with strange entities. Many.
Well, the Hound
All
of
of them.
The Hound of Tyndalos.
Hounds, yeah.
You've
And
also-
our dreams with the lady.
The Queen in
of
Yellow.
Yeah, Queen in Yellow.
and
Bride.
yeah. Walking Dead
I don't have enough space for this.
or
Yeah.
Zombies.
Gotta move it down to my assets or something.
Zomboids.
Zomboid.
Made me think of droids. Made me think of The Mandalorian. I watched the first 2 episodes last night.
They're very good.
Oh my god, it's good.
Yeah, I'm waiting till the whole thing's out.
You know, I almost did, and I'm like, I'll watch it.
I'm just, waiting for a female character of any type to show up. There's one in the first episode.
I'm waiting for one not to be named Abigail and also show up.
In The Mandalorian. I mean, that's a problem, too. No, there was literally one. It's a very good show. But there was one female character in the first episode and none in the second episode. Which, the second episode, given where it is, I'm not going to do spoilers.
Well, we
That
also
makes
don't
sense.
know the sex of the plot complication.
Right. That's true.
We just know it's really cute with big eyes.
But,
Yeah,
as
the
far
plushy,
as...
the plushy opportunities for that are going to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Oh, yeah.
But as far as, actual,
Right.
characters, there was one scene with one woman in the first episode.
It's funny because there's a lot of really high-profile female bounty hunters in the Star Wars universe.
Right? There's a lot.
A lot.
No,
It's really funny. It reminds me of I was reading this review of a book, and I don't remember what book it was, but they were talking about how much they loved all the characters and how great the female character was, and she was fantastic, and they couldn't or didn't name any specific traits of the female character, but they spent a paragraph and a half on the male characters, and I was like, this tells me everything I need to know about how great this character actually was.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, there are female characters that you haven't met
Yes.
that
100%.
have names other than Abigail.
In The Mandalorian.
No,
Oh.
in this game.
I'm saying
I
they
would
are
laugh.
now not named Abigail.
And we actually changed Abigail Northope's name to Gale, which
Yeah.
is a short thing.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna laugh that we're watching The Mandalorian
It's just
at
a
some point,
very-
and then Abigail shows up.
That'd be hilarious.
It's a very 1920s
It
sounding
is.
name.
It is. It's very
It
good.
is.
All
I
right.
just feel like there may have
And
been
you know
more
what?
than one.
And how I come up with NPC names? I go through the alphabet. This is what I already used A, so B. What's a good
Yeah.
B? Beatrice, right?
Yeah.
So.
Do you want to do the recap, Pooja?
Okay.
Is that Dave?
I think so.
I hope so.
Okay.
Never know in Cthulhu.
A letter to neighbor rifling through your files.
And he's in his uniform.
It's like, don't mind me. I just need character ideas.
Are you a pack leader or assistant pack? Committee. Okay.
It's like read the.
Are you
patch,
supposed to wear
bitch.
that? Are you supposed to wear that on camera?
We're
I think it's
working.
against the rules, man.
You literally ran.
I know.
We appreciate you. Pooja's just started the recap, so we're good.
Great.
Yeah, and I guess while I'm doing this, you can do your character advancements.
Yeah.
Oh, I can
Once,
handle that.
once
We
you
were
figure-
struggling.
I'm almost there.
once you finish your level of undress, whatever.
All right. Go.
We took the train to Hamblenden to speak to Nurse Gale Northrop, whatever, who was caring for, and she used to care for Robert Trask.
You skipped one small section on the train.
Oh, I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The gunfire and murder near our hotel were reported in the newspaper, but at least it did not mention our names. The cab driver did, unfortunately, provide a description of the man who assaulted him. Highly unflattering one at that. And then, miracle of miracles, Albert Einstein was on our train. He was going to consult with a physicist regarding some inconsistencies in his predictive models on reality. And I cannot help but wonder if this might be somehow connected to the anomalies that we have been experiencing. Hamilton is a beautiful, if quiet town. After restocking on armaments, aka the crazy lady bought lots and lots of bullets and an extra gun, we went to pay a call on Gale Northrop. She told us that Trask died in a fire on Halloween in 1917 in his parents' home. The doctor was actually the executor of the estate due to Trask's mental degradation, and that was Dr. Philip St. John. She said that their passage to England was cold, and Trask was plagued by terrible nightmares. His first doctor, Philip St. John was actually his second doctor, and his first doctor was dismissed for incompetence, Dr. Danvers. There was Trask and the artist James Smith were acquainted from their youth, and they had met again after the Titanic tragedy. Trask's home was purchased by the owner of the London Harbinger, Nathaniel Harper. When we're looking for articles on the fire, Isadore found a very interesting letter that describes the creature that attacked us at the hotel as a hound of Tindalos. I am very interested to find out more about this. A. Edwards' journal and who MC might be. The journal page was like written by MC, and the journal was the journal of A. Edwards that described the Hound of Tindalos, and there was a little note on top from MC, who felt like his life was in danger. Feeling that we can all relate to. Doris and I, we decided to take watches at night because we're paranoid as fuck. Doris and I took the first watch, and I was disturbed as Doris suddenly flung the door open and pointed her gun out into the hallway. I truly fear what she might do and how far her madness extends. Despite drinking herself into a stupor, Doris found herself once more in the dream. She insisted upon fleeing immediately after she awoke. When the rest of us refused to follow her out, she left by herself. The rest of us went down to have breakfast. I'm uneasy, but I cannot say that running will have any benefit.
Did you mention the? Oh, you wouldn't have witnessed it.
No, but I'm also not quite to breakfast yet.
Okay. No, before breakfast during their watch.
No, I don't have that in my journal. But during Edward and Isadore's watch, Edward saw a shadow on the ceiling.
You're kind of in the corners of the room.
And when he put his hand up to it, there was like a substance that got on his hand that was very acidic.
Yes, and it like burned his hands slightly.
After we got our food, Edward suddenly stood and left, having eaten nothing on his plate, because it turns out he was seeing all the egg yolks as blood. Afterwards, I confided in Isadore what I knew of Doris and the old man in the alley, my fears about her continuing instability. Because Lord knows Camilla cannot take how crazy everybody being. And I telegraphed Dr. Kistler to see if he knew of anyone in the area who might be able to help with this ongoing madness, and asked that the return telegram go to...
That was a very enthusiastic beer you have there, Dave.
That was kind of amazing.
Well,
I love those little carbonator things inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, little choke hazards.
But I asked that the return telegraph go to the telegraph office rather than the hotel, like, just to keep it more on the, down low. We went to pay a call on James Smith. We heard a prodigious snoring, and after Doris failed to wake him by firing several shots...
I forgot all about
That was the biggest WTF moment.
I literally, after I wrote this down, I put an exclamation point in parentheses after that.
That's totally the cowboy American thing when you're in another country. Well, I'm gonna wake him up.
Remember that episode of The Simpsons when he got the gun and he just used it for everything? He was opening bottles with the gun.
I love that your breaking and entering was like your better idea, though. Let's just go into his house and like without permission and break in. It's like,
Which is what we ended up doing anyway.
right, but
Somebody have to pick the door?
So
it
it was
open,
open.
right?
So we went upstairs.
it's still illegal.
We had concerns for his well-being.
Only because he didn't wake up after shooting the gun off.
Well, no, we had concerns before that.
And it turns out rightly so,
And now the
because
neighbors have concerns about the fact that he might have been murdered by a gunman.
James is a very dedicated heroin user. And he was writing a letter to Abigail Amherst when the latest hit took him under. There were many paintings, all depicting the ship, tentacles, and the city on the ice. The ship being the Titanic. We found a trapdoor downstairs that led to an unfinished basement and a sepulcher with the yellow sign painted upon the lid. Before we could investigate the sepulcher any further, we heard a great knock upon the door.
Summoned by what? Summoned by gunshots. What?
Did you do your skill improvements?
I did.
Okay. Anything go up?
Yes. I got drive, firearms, chemistry, and that's it.
Okay. Also, if there's anything on your background sheet that doesn't involve scars or injuries or phobias and manias, you can change those. One of the things I mentioned, if you wanted to have one of your contacts or whatever, I can't remember what they call him, Dr. Kistler, if you want to put him, because he was there, when you guys were in crisis. So maybe
Significant people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's up to you, though.
No, I like it.
Good?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think. I'll make a change there.
Lord James! Lord James! It's Mr. Jordan. Your father sent me to attend your appointment with him. If you don't open the door, I'm going to let myself in. You guys are downstairs. Are you going to close the hatch? Okay. Very well. And you hear the door open. And then you hear footsteps. And you can kind of hear someone upstairs if someone wants to make a listen roll, because now he's not yelling.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
I feel like we're probably all listening. We're all like,
I made it.
I
Okay.
did not.
the librarian can hear everything
Of
that's
course.
happening.
Yeah, she's the most perceptive one of us
Yes.
all.
Get her.
So he kind of mutters,
That's my whole plan.
look at the state of this place. Rose, do what you can to put this place in order. And then you hear, yes, Mr. Jordan. Then you hear him. He goes upstairs, but you can hear that there's someone downstairs, like
Tidying.
straightening up things and tidying, overturning chairs and things like that.
I'm gonna go up. Is there like a handle on the the trapdoor on our side? I'm gonna if there's not a latch or something, I'm gonna hold it.
You know what? There's a little, like one of those little slide things.
Do the thing.
Want to see how quietly you can do it?
Sure. What do I roll for that?
Stealth?
Sure.
Dex.
Do you have stealth?
Dex. No.
You have it.
I have stealth at
you can have
20.
You have it at
have
20%.
You have a
Everybody's got it.
bonus die.
Okay. Because I can go very slowly with it.
Yeah, if you take your time, you can have 2 bonus dice.
Okay. 2 bonus dice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fancy.
Very generous.
Bet you still won't make it.
Okay.
And you're adding 10.
The 10 dice.
Okay.
If you don't make it, it's going to sound like a Titan missile.
Oh,
You made it. You made it.
Oh, 7.
I made it twice.
Oh wow!
Seven.
So I made a 7.
All right, so it's locked.
Quietest lock ever.
Yeah, I hardly heard that at all.
Great job locking it.
Thank you all.
And then you hear.
That counts as a successful stealth roll, correct?
It does, yes. What's your check mark?
Amazing.
I'm helping.
You are.
Booyah.
Thank you. I always forget
It's
that.
shaking me. And I help.
Okay. Now you guys you brought like lanterns down or torches, like flashlight torches, because we're in England.
Something.
You had some sort of.
We had some sort of light
Something.
source, but I don't remember what
okay.
it was.
All right.
And since I, didn't feel fit to include it in the journal entry.
So you hear. You hear someone come back down the stairs, and Mr. Jordan says, "Rose, run and get help." And then you hear her run off, and you hear him go back upstairs. And then
You want to make a break for it?
Go.
I think we should just stay put.
okay, the
If he dies, I'm supposed to be sorry. If he dies up there, they might search They might search the house.
I mean, they're just going to assume that it's from the Herald News.
Yeah. There's no sign of foul play up there.
There is a curious trapdoor.
That she has covered with the chairs that she just righted.
That's true. Hopefully.
Oh, you heard there's all kinds of stuff. So, because you had rolled the carpet.
Okay.
All right, after, so you guys are staying?
Yeah.
Okay. After,
Yeah, at the very least, there'll be time, like, between them carting him away and, like, it's not like people are going to be here, like, the movers are going to arrive in 5 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
Be like, time to clear out that cottage.
Yes.
Oh, the CSI guys. Oh, wait. There's no CSI guys.
no.
CSI Rural England.
Right.
All them it's Murmurs.
After just a few minutes, she obviously she didn't make it to town. She obviously went into a neighbor. You hear some people come upstairs, and then you hear go in the house and then go upstairs. And now you're hearing like there's kind of a scratching sound. 'Cause I'm assuming you're all looking at the trapdoor.
To be honest, I would not take my eyes off that coffin if you paid me.
Okay, all right. Well, you are definitely hearing some kind of scratching sound coming from that coffin.
Good. Real good.
Oh no.
What's the situation with the floor above us? Is it like well joined, like no lights coming through? Is it like rural farmhouse? There's space in the floorboards.
There's a few cracks. It's fairly well built.
Okay.
But I mean, you can see little bits, but not like in Inglorious Bastards.
Oh, okay.
No,
Then
not
yeah.
like that.
Okay. Well, I'll play the light around down here.
Okay.
See if there's anything else that we haven't seen.
If I recall correctly, there wasn't a lot down here. It was an unfinished, like, dirt floor, and there was, like, they had been putting, like, stones, masonry stones to sort of shore up the walls.
Sure.
There was the sepulcher, and then there was, I want to say that there was, like sconces or something on the walls to hold lanterns, and I think you guys may have lit a couple
I
of
think
them.
that's
Yeah.
what we got the light from.
Maybe that's it.
And that's pretty much all that you see down there. And a lot of scuff footprints. I mean, there's obviously been either someone meticulously walking over almost every surface or several people at some point.
Is there any like movement of the coffin lid?
No.
Okay, good. And you said Rose comes back?
Yeah, she came back with someone, and you can hear...
The yellow sign on this is carved in?
I think it was painted. I think I said it was painted.
Yeah,
That
I think
sounds-
you did say it was
yeah.
painted.
Can we all hear this Scrabble
Yeah.
scratch?
Yes.
Doris still has her gun out.
Of course she does.
For those listening at home, Dave is saying, should we take the lid off and look inside?
And Jim is going, whatever's in there, I don't want to see it.
I'm like, what if,
No. You should keep the lid on at all costs.
I am going to start chipping away at the symbol with my penknife.
Okay. All right. Now there's more scratching from the coffin because it's coming from two sides.
it's like scratch and response.
Yes.
At least it's not scratch and see. So I'm gonna help.
Have them scratch the symbol off?
How
Okay.
heavy looking does this lid look?
It's stone.
I mean, but like how thick?
It's probably like maybe 8 inches
It's
thick.
like hundreds of pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, if two of you got on it, you could probably slide it off.
Yeah.
I doubt you could do it quietly.
No, I was more like seeing maybe I should sit on it and make it heavier, so whatever's in it can't lift it. But if it's already hundreds of pounds,
Yeah, and
My
it's
body
pretty
weight
big. I mean,
will
it's
be
probably It's probably 7 feet long and maybe 4 feet wide.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
So, even Doris's
That's a luxury
impressive
tomb.
height. Yeah.
And then now you're starting to hear people coming back downstairs, but they're coming down slowly.
Like really slow, like they're carrying somebody.
Probably.
Okay.
And then you can hear Mr. Jordan say, I hope I can count on your discretion in this situation. We do not like to air the dirty laundry of his lordship or his lordship's family. And then you can hear them go out the door. And there's a sound of, you can hear horses outside. And probably after another 15, 20 minutes, you hear Rose leave and the door close.
We should go now.
We should burn this whole place down.
What if the madman upstairs trapped somebody in there?
The last time we heard scratching at anything, things turned really, really south.
But we heard scratching one time and it turned out to be an adorable dog.
Unless you think we're going to find an adorable dog inside a tomb found in a basement.
We've seen this cult sacrifice innocent people before.
I mean, that is a good point. But perhaps we should let the appropriate authorities handle it. And we should go back to town.
And say what? Like, hey, go check that minor lord's cottage
Sure.
in the basement.
For
There's
monsters.
somebody might be trapped in a coffin.
Sure.
How would we know that? How would we explain that to the authorities?
Hopefully we'll be long gone before they think to ask that question.
I mean,
How's this?
there's no way they're
Hello,
going
is there anyone in there? Can anyone articulate a human thought inside there? I'm getting no response from that.
Like, I'll go up to it and I'll go, hello?
The scratching gets a little faster.
I mean, we've seen some
I'll
stuff.
give it the shave and a haircut. Like, the scratching does not change into. All right.
Is
No,
obviously not human.
Or a cartoon. So let's go.
Okay.
Are we done taking the symbol off?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we want to take some of this artwork with us?
It doesn't tell us anything that we don't already know. And I don't think they would look kindly to theft here.
If
I mean, we have our stuff, right? I probably have my camera with me. Can I say that I have my camera with me?
didn't we leave all that stuff behind? When we fled?
Well, we established that the camera is very portable and small. So if it was a priority to her, it might be something.
Did we get? I mean, I thought we got some of our stuff back. No.
No,
No,
not really.
no,
Okay.
It ran off
no.
with
It
the
became a
cameras.
crime scene.
Yeah. I guess it probably wouldn't. Have
I mean,
yeah.
if you took it, I'm not trying to take away your choice to
I
take
didn't
it.
specify that, so I feel like saying that in my bout of madness.
I think you
when
should roll your luck and see if you remember.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's fair.
If I grab my,
Yeah.
Love
thing.
the luck skill
It's very good.
stat.
Oh, it's down to 36 though. Nope,
99.
You not only left your camera there,
But
There's a
there's some
selfie
naughty
of it.
there's
pictures on it.
photos of some of the members of the group there. You realize this as you're sitting there.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had my
Oh,
camera.
my camera.
Oh, no!
That's awesome.
At least it's not at the actual, like, at least they're not at the murder scene,
Right,
Yeah.
Just at the destroyed hotel.
right.
which they already knew was ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had our
A little
name.
bit of vandalism, that's a charge we can skate on.
Like,
Oh, wow.
okay.
The lighting in here, what kind are there? Are they torches? What?
I'm probably like
Lanterns?
oil lanterns, kerosene. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and the coast is clear. as soon as you get up there, you're like, wow, she worked fast.
It looks nice.
Oh, nice.
Rose did good work.
Did we look through at all the paintings or no?
I think we went through everything here.
In general.
In general, I don't think we went over it meticulously, but we
at least
saw. We
glanced
got
at
eyes
everything.
on everything.
Okay.
So,
So
do you have any kind of writings or a journal or anything?
Yeah.
There was a letter, I think.
Yes, a letter to Abigail.
yeah.
Okay, you guys are up in the ground floor.
Does he have an attic?
No. That you can actually the upstairs has like a vaulted ceiling, so that's the roof.
I guess my next question is like, did we find everything from Gale Northrup's attic? Speaking of attics.
We looked pretty thoroughly. And I did a spot hidden that I rolled pretty well on, and I didn't see anything that wasn't like being provided to us.
Okay, cool.
If I remember correctly.
I'm still kind of concerned with the number of bolts on her door, and whether she actually told us everything that. But she seemed pretty upright about giving us all this information. So
Yeah, and if she knew about this letter, and that's her way of providing us more information and more of a hint, because she obviously experienced something while she was caring for Trask.
and it could be that she thinks that she might be observed like we think we might be, and wanted to do it in a way where there was no culpability towards her, really. And that makes sense.
I'm suspicious, and it's crazy. You guys are suspicious. Just kidding. I'm saying that out of character. I'm not actually saying that.
So,
I'm not actually suspicious of that old lady. I think
No.
she just had a traumatic event and is trying to keep herself safe.
Yeah,
makes sense.
I think she tried to help us genuinely.
Yeah.
So, if we, honestly, I would very much like to do some research.
We also have the contact for that Nathaniel Harper.
Can I go back to the, is it too soon for a reply to my telegram?
Did you send that the night before, or did you send that? Do you remember?
Oh, you know what? I would have sent it that morning, so it is too soon. Because I sent it after breakfast, so yeah. Or during that getting ready time in the morning.
Okay.
Never mind. Well, we could try to hunt down, Philip St. John.
He's back in London. We also have the Dr. Patrick Danvers.
I think he's dead.
Was he? I didn't mark him down as dead.
Danvers, was that the original doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was dead. He was already elderly when he started.
Oh, that's
treatment.
right. That's right.
So, what do y'all think? Like, do you want to go
I'd assume
hunt down
that-
Philip St. John, and I could find a library to maybe track down who these people are who are corresponding about the things of which we would like to know more?
Yeah, we've got Philip St. John and Nathaniel Harper that are probably both in London.
And then the A.A. Edwards. I would really like to know more about that. I'm trying to think if there's anyone we knew of who would have the initials MC, but I'm just not coming up with anyone.
Are we going back to town then? Is that where we're heading? Are we?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna just shop for some basic stuff, like like another shirt and just like some foodstuffs and stuff like that. But basically, when I'm going to strike up conversations with people, I'm telling them, oh yeah, I'm with a preeminent doctor here that's known for his psychological treatment of substance abuse. I'm just going to spread that word around town.
Okay. All right. Get yourself in good with the butler.
No, if I can find people that work for that household, I will definitely at least try to be overheard saying stuff.
Oh, okay. Right. Oh, yeah, you see people come in like,
Yeah.
footman places all the time, so. Now, you had mentioned Nathaniel
Harper, the owner of
Harper.
Trask's
okay.
house.
Right.
The London Harbinger owner.
I don't have his name right now. Okay. So you guys go back to town, and meanwhile he's going around buying some sundries and spreading rumors that a preeminent physician who's an expert in drug addiction is in town.
Is his intent to imply that he is that preeminent physician?
I'm probably.
I think it's you.
Yeah, I probably think so.
Or is it me?
Or
I should know. So when someone comes up and asks me.
oh yeah, drug addiction. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys still have your rooms, your adjoining rooms in the bed and breakfast.
Yes.
I assume. Okay.
I'm not so sure. Is there any other lodging in town?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go there.
Okay.
It's just for you, or do you get rooms for all of us?
Well, if anybody else wants to come, that's fine. That's up to you guys.
I think I left before I saw like the blood eggs.
Yeah,
So
I was the
didn't
only one
bring
that
this.
saw that. So nobody else saw that.
No,
He
Jim
saw it
did,
and was able.
but he was able to
He
realize.
shook it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bolted like as soon as you woke up
Yeah.
from your dream.
So I'm happy to acquire additional room space, but I don't think I want to go back over there. I
Okay.
didn't have any stuff in the room anyway.
Your mic is muted.
I didn't have any stuff in there anyway.
Okay.
So I will get another room or whatnot.
Okay.
I think I would also prefer.
Stay somewhere different.
Yeah, I feel like anytime I've had a dream, like I'm worried now that the hounds will show up.
Okay.
So go to a different place.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a little Mrs. Winchester thing going on, I think.
Are you guys also going to relocate?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to leave them alone to their own devices.
Okay.
Yeah, Scooby does not leave the gang.
Your mic's muted.
I am not going anywhere. I'm staying with my companions.
Okay. All right. So you go make arrangements in another bed and breakfast. Block away, 2 blocks away, something like that.
Okay.
Now, this cottage that we just left, what kind of roof does it have? Thatch? Nice dry thatch?
Knock my mic off.
Yeah.
Hold on.
What's the date?
Well, he laughed so hard his mic fell off.
10th.
June. It is coming into summer.
I'm just saying it's fire
Not the
season.
rainiest.
Yeah.
I'm a monster for shooting my gun into the air to make noise.
No, the monster thing is that you do it out in the open. At least I'm a secret monster. I'm also slightly off my kilter. So
Make
it's
a
okay.
luck roll.
Too.
I'm kind of leaning towards no, but I mean, maybe.
Made it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a nice dry thatch roof.
And then there's going to be some nocturnal operations that are going to happen with a hooded lantern. I've thrown those before.
Right.
That's true.
Okay.
Weapon proficiency lantern.
Yes, Hal.
So after you get do your shopping and
Yeah.
spread your rumors and you get your accommodations, you're gonna go check the telegraph office. Okay. And there is a response from Dr. Kistler. And he tells you that. He says there's actually a very a sanitarium with a very good reputation called the Rutland Sanatorium, which is like on the border of Hamilton County and Rutland County, so it's not far from where you are. And he said that he would, if you want, he will contact them.
Rutland Sanatorium?
Yeah.
And I telegraph back that yes, that would be much appreciated.
He says he will leave names out, but use him as a reference.
Wonderful. Okay, now I just have to figure out a way to get them on there. She says to herself.
I love that subplot so much.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that before dinner, I am going to talk to Isadore. I'm going to say that there's a sanatorium not far from here that I believe might be of assistance to us.
You're right. I think the others are exhibiting signs of instability. Sorry, I can't keep my... You're absolutely right. I think the others are exhibiting signs of instability. Maybe it's time for us to maybe slow this down and seek some self-care before we move on.
Also, they might be able to help us with the dream situation. Especially as a game recommended from Dr. Kistler.
I think we might actually find some stern opposition to that from Doris. She seems to be very paranoid about the dream state.
Yes, which is why I think that if we approach it with that this might alleviate our dreams, that she might be more amenable to accompanying us on this journey.
Well, you have my approval and cooperation on this.
And if you could figure out a way to convince Edward?
I will definitely speak to him and see. I will try not to alert him in any way. See if I can... I don't know, I'm not really good at this kind of thing, but I'll speak to him and see what I can do. I'll go over to the good doctor.
Okay. I'm assuming this is all happening in your new bed and breakfast rooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I go, Doctor,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of things. One, I may have dropped the hint around town that you are a psychologist that is apt at dealing with people with addiction problems, and seeing that might be a way to get in the door to see if we can speak to the Lord.
Oh, that's a fine idea.
Maybe if you presented yourself to something, and there's already some word around that might corroborate that, it might be a good idea. Also, I have found that there is a very good sanatorium nearby, and I think that it might be a good idea for us to seek some rest and respite there for a while. And we've been acting a little bit erratically. I can list off the things that we've been doing: breaking an entry, possible murder. I'm beginning to question our state, and whether, if we continue to pursue this at the pace that we're doing so, whether we will be doing irreparable damage to ourselves, if not our own reputations.
Yes. I can see what you're saying, but my fear is that as soon as we let go of this thread, it will spiral away from us. And I agree. I think seeking help is something that would be good for all of us, but
look at it this way. I know that I am not thinking straight or right, and I'm questioning some of my own decision making. But there is a member of our party that seems to be fond of firearms.
Hold on 1 second. I'm having a problem with your channel.
Racist.
I hope I didn't mess something up yesterday. I didn't push it.
No. It's this is.
Want me to
Go ahead.
jiggle my thingy?
No, it's on the board.
Oh, damn.
Oh my!
Okay, try now. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah,
Clear?
I
All right,
turned the
cool.
compression up. I turned the preamp down.
I'm just saying that Doris is not letting go of her firearms, and we're all starting to act a little bit loopy, and that thing won't even press down anymore. There we go.
There we go. It wasn't muted.
And you know, I'm. It's one thing when it's just our own safety. We're in this, and we know what we're in this for. And I'm thinking that in general, we would agree that we're willing to take certain risks. But when it comes to risking the well-beings of other people and people that may be innocent in this, or people that may have already brushed up against this, like the good nurse that has managed to distance herself from it to lead a somewhat normal life, whether us re-injecting this madness into it isn't sinful in and of itself.
Mm.
I'm just saying it's something that we should probably consider doing, especially if we can't get any type of really solid leads on somewhere to go relatively immediately. Because if we're just flapping around in the wind, we might as well take care of what we need to take care of and then move along.
Certainly. Well, let's. You said this place is nearby.
Yes.
I wonder if there's anyone there that has published anything decent. But, regardless, let's see what we can draw out of perhaps this noble family. I like your idea. And then maybe once our business is concluded here in town, we can make the trip.
I concur with you wholeheartedly. I think that is an excellent way of going.
I think I'll probably go tell them,
Okay.
the ladies, about this idea to pass myself off as an addiction expert.
Okay.
And make my presence known. Like, I happen to be visiting from America on vacation,
Okay.
and thought I heard rumor in the town that someone might need help.
Okay.
So, I think I'm an American. I'm just going to go to the Lord's Manor.
I'd
Of
also
course.
say, as an American, you know, I don't have any ties to anybody here. Discretion would be 100% guaranteed.
Yeah,
kind
I
of
don't
thing.
even know anyone's name in this town.
Exactly.
Okay.
So are we doing this the next day or that night? Or?
Probably the next day. I
Okay.
wouldn't go go
Okay.
beating down a door at 9 o'clock at night.
All right. So, it's now the next day, June 11th, 1923.
Thank you for humoring me.
Okay. The
No, that's fantastic. It's June 11th and nothing bad happened. We had 8 hours of
well, it was
nothing.
June 11th at midnight.
Oh,
No. Now, are you making any preparations for restful sleep, and are you also doing the shift thing?
Well, the doc promised me that if I went back to the dream state, that he would use the sedate stuff on me the next time. And I went back to the dream place.
Shoot me up.
Shoot me up.
Well,
And I'm gonna just, that night before you get shut up, I'm just gonna say that, Dr. Kista recommended that we visit the sanatorium that is quite close by. They might be able to help with the dreams. So
that would be excellent if they can get rid of these dreams.
I mean, I think it would just be the best for all of us if we went and saw what they had to offer.
Absolutely. It's nearby, you said?
Yes, it's just on the edge of the county.
Very good.
And it could only work in our favor.
Absolutely. If they can get rid of these dreams, I am all for it.
Wonderful.
Can I try and synthesize a better cocktail of drugs?
Sure. Absolutely.
You got chemistry.
I
Yes,
do.
you do.
I'm going to use it.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'd like... Obviously, I have a basic knowledge of, like, oh, yeah, if I give you all of the propofol, you die.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the intent. But, like, to try and come up with something that's a balance between knock you out and actually let you rest.
Yeah.
Like, some kind of a balance.
Sure.
It's all right. I'm prepared. I can make another character quickly.
No.
God.
Oh no, you killer.
What's your skill level? That was a 95, right?
Yeah.
It was.
That was a 95.
Was it 95? Chemistry's 46. I thought it had to be...
Oh, you missed it by 1.
yeah,
you
I
missed
thought it had to be...
by 1.
Jesus.
I was prepared to lose or retire my character to some bout of madness, and nope. Character
OD.
manslaughter.
Well, we were
I'm gonna put a
upgrading.
little
I haven't been
cyanide
rolling
in
enough
here.
dice. I can't up any of my character skills. I haven't been rolling enough tests, and I know why now.
Yeah,
Because that is on purpose.
because it's terrifying.
I roll a lot. I just don't succeed at anything.
Okay. So you have a concoction that you have come up with. You don't know how well it's going to work, but you come up with something.
Yeah, I think this might help.
Fantastic.
And then you have to watch the riverboat scene from Willy Wonka all the night. Sorry. My
Still
bad.
better than the dream place.
So are you guys sleeping in shifts again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Except for Doris, who's going to be knocked out all night.
Yeah, it didn't
Or
work
maybe
last
multiple
time.
days. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Doris is like, fuck that. It didn't work last time, so
Right.
there's no point in that shit.
Okay. Who's going to sleep first?
I slept first last... We slept first last time? No,
Yes.
we slept second last time.
They did.
You slept second last time. That's correct.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sleep first this time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. The two of you wake up in the surgical theater,
God damn it.
and there are Dr. Kistler, and there's a bunch of people standing around. And he comes over you and says, "Oh, she's awake. Doris, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
We had some problems with the sedatives. We think we may have overdosed you. Can you sit up for me, please?"
She's like look around very carefully.
Okay.
Like dead bodies, weird things in the walls,
No.
symbols. She's gonna sit up if she can.
Okay.
Okay.
You can sit up. You're kind of woozy,
Okay.
but you can sit up. He says, "I would like you to have a small amount of water, if you would."
Do you have
If
any
you-
whiskey?
No.
All right.
I would prefer you have water.
All right.
And if you feel nauseous, please let me know immediately.
All right, I will.
And how are you, Camilla?
As well as could be expected, I suppose.
Very well.
I am going to roll a spot hidden here
Okay.
to see, like, what, if anything is off at all, like anything that I can spot, you know, those strange signs. And
Sure.
I'll do that too. I didn't think of that.
I did not make it.
I did not make it.
Okay.
Dice are not rolling in our favor.
No.
So you both kind of sit up, and they kind of adjust the gurney backs up a little bit for you. And they give you like a little water with a little straw.
Okay.
Drink a little bit of water. And Dr. Kistler says, I'm going to go. I need to consult with another physician to see if there's any interactions that I may need to be aware of. I will be right back. And he walks out the door. And as soon as he walks out the door, everyone else disappears.
Doris.
Except up in the theater part, you see a woman who looks familiar looking at you.
Does she look like the woman in yellow?
Yes. And she's smiling.
Oh, we're asleep again.
Well, yes. Wake yourself up.
Okay. All right.
I think this is
We rolled the magic, whatever the
Dreaming, I think, is what we rolled, right?
no.
No, we rolled power.
Power,
yeah,
that's what it was,
power.
yeah.
That's it.
Nope.
I was going to say you get a penalty die.
Okay.
Anyway, but you missed.
I totally missed.
I'm not leaving without her, but I suppose I should because then I can wake her up from
So you're going to
the
wake.
other side.
Yeah.
Or like if I could like smack her real hard here, like in a like get a hold of yourself woman kind of way,
Okay,
if that would help her to try again.
you try it. You smack her.
I'm just
Can we
gonna
make like a listen? Or
full
something to
on.
notice
Yeah,
the
go ahead and make a
just,
listen roll.
I am gonna.
Okay.
No. Hey,
No.
we rolled one number off from each other.
Or too basic. We're playing pinochle way too distracted.
You can make a roll without a penalty die this time.
Okay.
But you're technically kind of pushing.
Yeah.
So a failure at this point is a critical failure. Because you've already made the roll. She's come up with a criteria that allows for the reroll, but now...
I feel like once she failed, she'd panic. I don't know if she'd... I don't know. I think she'd like get defensive and like pull out her gun.
Oh, you did have it on you. That's right. You
In
had
my
it
dream
you.
states,
Right.
I tend to carry a gun generally.
Oh god. I then am gonna try to wake myself up,
Okay.
and I make it. It's a 32 under my 80.
Okay.
And I am gonna call immediately for the two of you, and I'm gonna say, bring something to wake Doris up.
I feel like I'm probably just shooting at the woman in red or the woman in yellow
Okay.
in my dream. I know it's a dream anyway, so fuck it. Like,
And you're shooting at her, and she sort of tilts her head and looks at you.
yeah. And I know it's not going to do anything, but it's better than sitting there.
You are becoming troublesome people.
Glass of water on the face.
Okay.
Literally what I was going to say. I was like, yeah.
Well, I
Here's
am
the basin.
American.
Okay, glass of water on the face. Go ahead and make your...
Okay.
Oh,
6. Right.
Boom. Okay. You wake up.
Yeah, I hit in the air. I'm like, oh.
As long as you don't actually have the gun in your
No, I
hand,
don't
that's
have
fine.
it. Yeah.
Everything looks like a nail.
Are you all right?
I thought, damn it, we were back in the operating room. Dr. Kistler was there. Kistler was there. And so was that damn woman. He walked out and everybody disappeared. She looked right at me and she said that we were becoming troublesome.
I don't know whether that's good or bad news.
Yeah, I actually find a little bit of encouragement in hearing that.
It means that we're having an effect.
Except it means now that we have no way of preventing ourselves from going to that dreamscape. Even the drugs aren't helping.
Which is all the more reason why we should go to the sanatorium.
Yes. I mean, sleeping in shifts isn't working. Drinking isn't working. Knocking ourselves out with these concoctions isn't working. And waking up is becoming harder and harder. I know it's not actually, but that's Doris' like perception of it.
No, and I'm gonna say that it's possibly the drugs would not have helped that at all.
Well, it was worth trying to not go back. It worked before.
I have no fear of going back. I have a fear of being here, but I have no fear of the dream state.
Well, You can keep it all you want, my friend.
I don't want it either. I'm not saying that I like it. I'm just saying that I feel more in control in that state than I do here.
And nothing bad has happened to us in the dream.
True.
We've seen some terrible things, but nothing has actually harmed anyone.
Nothing has affected us.
Actually, everything about the dreaming has been the net positive. We met our Native American friend that confirmed certain things.
Except that we think it might be how the hounds are tracking us. Which
That's
then
true.
does provide a very real consequence.
All I'm saying is this. This is absolutely critical, and we are in danger.
Yes.
But the simple fact of the matter is that in order for us to function, we need to sleep. And if we need to sleep, there is the possibility that we will encounter that dream state. I don't think there's anything we can do about it. If you have a problem that has no real solution, you just have a situation you have to accept.
Well, I think Camilla's right. We should go to the sanatorium. If they can do something to help us not go to this place,
I agree with you completely.
then it's the safest thing for us. It will keep the hounds away and keep us from going and seeing that damned woman.
Certainly. I'd like to see that woman. I have some questions for her.
Well, I don't know what they'll be able to do for us, but
Well, it's
Even
better
if
than
it's
just
just
sitting here and
supervised
being
rest.
victimized by it, I suppose.
yeah.
At the very least, we'd feel that we're trying to do something about it. Nonetheless, we're all feeling somewhat erratic. It probably would be a good idea to just try to gather ourselves a little bit. But then again, if we can get some more information from his lordship before we head over there, I'd be all for it. Maybe we could do that today, and then if we get something or not, by the end of the day, we start traveling towards the sanatorium.
It'd be nice to be there before we try to rest tonight.
I would strongly suggest that we go before we pursue any further lines of inquiry.
I mean, the woman, the yellow woman has seen us. I mean, she knows about us. That means she's going to try and come after us more and more in our sleep and wherever she can get her claws into us.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to change how?
I would say that at the very least, we would be in a better position to handle anything and distractions in the form of pursuing further investigation would just be like futile at this point if we plan on going to the sanatorium today anyway.
Fine. Let us go. I don't think that anything here is going to change.
Right,
Sure.
so pack up our things and meet at the train station like
Sure.
an hour.
I'll start packing right away.
I don't have much to pack.
Yeah, neither do I. I could be in the train station. It takes 15 minutes to walk there. 20 minutes.
Okay.
Nobody seems concerned that we're leaving a scratched-in coffin, just sitting here.
At this point, we have no means of dealing with it, so no.
Okay.
We've done what we could to remove the yellow sign and hopefully remove it of some of its power, but until we come up with some solution to actually deal with whatever might actually be inside of it, then no, we leave it be.
Doris is just noping out of that entire situation and just being like, no, there's nothing in there, it's fine. Rats. So she's
At
gonna
the
go
time,
check
you
back
also
herself.
agreed that we should not open it. Have you changed your mind?
Oh, no. I was thinking about building a nice fire around it and incinerating
It's
it
made
completely.
of stone.
Well, stone can be heated to a very high temperature.
And to what end? I mean, a house fire would not actually destroy it.
Do we know
And
that?
if we do destroy it, would that just let out whatever is inside of it? Free to pursue us further? Because
they're-
we need more horrors.
While they're doing this, Doris goes to go pack and stuff. She's no interest in even thinking about the coffin thing. you guys can keep going. I just wanted to be
All right. And then, you know what? At this, I just sort of like, fine. And I'm going to go pack.
Okay. So you're all going to meet at the train station?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
No side trips by a certain
Nope.
cottage. Okay.
I am.
Okay. Are you?
Doris is going to go, and I'm going to. Her name is Abigail, right? Okay.
The
nurse.
Okay.
Gale.
Yeah.
Gale
Gale.
Northrop.
Gail.
Gail Northrop.
So we don't have 4 Abigails running around this game.
Knock on her
There
door.
were actually more.
That's amazing. So she goes and knocks on the door.
Okay. Just a moment. Yes.
Gail, I appreciate your hospitality yesterday.
Oh, yes. Your name was Doris, yes?
Yes, my name is Doris.
Oh, please come in. I was about to have some tea.
I don't have time, unfortunately, but I was hoping that you might do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna her gun's wrapped in a nice little napkin or something she stole from.
Okay. A scarf or something.
Yeah, something. This is a family heirloom. It means quite a lot to me. It was my father's. He used to use it in his shows. I was hoping you might hold on to this for me.
Oh, certainly.
I'm going on a trip somewhere, and I'm worried that they might not let me keep it. So, you seem like you have a very secure home.
Oh, yes, of course. Do you tell her what it is?
I mean, it's probably pretty obvious.
She may have never handled a gun before.
That's true. Well,
She
it's
can't-
it's
she's
unloaded.
blind.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, she's blind.
Fine. So it's a firearm. It's a Colt,
Oh, my.
but it's unloaded. It's perfectly safe.
That was just my next
Yeah.
question.
No, 100%.
This is turning out way better than I thought it was going to. When this started, I thought you were going there to assassinate the person. And I was
I
like,
was
Same.
thinking that, too.
I was
It's
like,
gonna
so
be
help
really-
me, that if we find out about this, there's going to be problems.
No. She wants to go to the Sanatorium and not have dreams, but she also is 100% aware that nobody else wants her to have guns anymore, and this would be a perfect opportunity for some doctor to take it away from her.
No, that's great. No, it's awesome.
So
Okay.
if you'll just keep it, here's the. She's gonna have her little satchel she bought. And here's the ammunition for it, if you want to keep that safe too.
Oh, certainly.
Big old bag full of
Well,
bullets.
she probably has a little trouble carrying because she's using a cane. so
Okay,
she-
well I can help you carry this inside if you
Yeah.
like.
You should put it in the
Yeah.
sideboard.
Yeah. And I'd prefer if you were discreet about who necessarily knew this was here.
Oh, I won't say a word to anyone.
Thank you so much. But I hope to see you soon.
Oh, you too. Enjoy and have a nice trip.
I hope it will be very restful.
Oh, excellent. He shows you to the door.
Yes. All right, then she goes to the train
Okay.
station.
All right. So you guys are all at the train station. Doris shows up late.
Everything all right?
Yeah, it's just a bit of a walk. Are we going?
Yes.
No cord
that
ice.
is-
No cord. No.
All right.
And it really does smell.
Yeah.
Especially for.
Oh, yeah.
It was recent.
From that era.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you all get on the train and head toward.
We're shooting revolvers all day. You reek of it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. Especially at shooting ranges now because they have those. They have muzzle brakes and
Yeah.
it sprays the stuff out, so you're like breathing and eating spent gunpowder all the time.
Ooh.
It's really nice. Okay, you get to the train station, and the train station takes you to even more idyllic countryside as you are going through the little. You have the nice little farms, and you see the fox hunt happening in the distance. Keep on going, and you get to this very lovely palatial estate that has been transformed into a sanitarium. And you go in and you give Dr. Kistler's name, and the receptionist leaves and comes back, and she brings with her Dr. Ophelia Sutton. Who is one of the attending psychiatrists.
Ophelia, that's another good name.
It is, yeah. I went and looked through my list. I actually made a list, but I wasn't using it. I was just relying on my alphabet
And
method.
once you got a hit, you just keep using it, right?
Right. And
Dr. Ophelia.
mhm.
What was your last name?
Sutton.
Sutton.
Or Sutton.
Okay.
So the T's. Not Sutton.
Sutton.
Okay.
And basically, she's sort of been briefed by Dr. Kistler, and she tells you that you're welcome to stay as well if you would like. We have some less secure accommodations.
I am going to say that I do trust in her abilities and come on high recommendation. And I will stay the night to see that my companions are
Okay.
settled. However, I have other things that I need to follow up on
Okay.
while they undergo treatment.
Okay. Alrighty. So they take all of you in and they give you the white clothes. They don't have all the extra long sleeves though.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you each have a private room. And they said, we'll begin treatment in the morning. And we don't have to go through the treatment because it could be tedious.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to go hit a scene or something. What other things, because just so you know, treatment lasts a month.
Okay.
And at the end of the month, a roll is made. If you make that roll, you are cured of your temporary insanity, and you'll gain back a certain number of sanity points. Is there something you want to do during that time?
I would like to go back and talk to Gail Northrup and just ask her if she knows of. I want to see if she knows anything about A.A. Edwards or who MC might be.
Okay.
Because it is not that I thought she didn't have any other information. I just didn't trust Doris not to murder her. I'm really glad you didn't.
Yeah.
You know what? It never really crossed my mind that Doris was going to murder that lady. It never really was going to
My
kill her.
mother.
You did not find the body in the alley.
I thought you were
True.
going to too.
Totally.
Sorry, I'm the only one on your side, apparently.
When she said, I'm going to knock, oh, hello. No, I've got my gun. I'm like, oh, no. She's
Oh, no.
It just kept getting worse and worse for a second, and then it pulled out of that nosedive and got all wholesome and nice. And I was like, oh.
It didn't even occur to me that she'd do that. Everyone else, even the chat room was like, "Oh yeah, we thought it was going there."
Yeah.
All of this idea, she's a monster.
You murdered an old man in
Jim's
an alley.
the guy who wants to burn stuff down.
Totally
Not people,
just
though.
came from the fact that you were distrustful of her and you thought she was hiding something.
Yeah.
The rest of us are like, no, I think she was pretty honest. She's just scared. Mm-hmm. And you were coming from that angle, and you're like, yeah, one more thing before we leave town.
Okay, she says that that's information you would probably want to get from Dr. Philip St. John. But, name just fell out of my head.
Trask?
Arthur Aiden Edwards.
Oh.
He was a colleague of the doctor when he was in school. I never met him. They kept in touch. I know that they corresponded.
Arthur Aiden
Edwards.
Edwards. Was a classmate.
Yeah, Dr. Philip St. John.
Oh. And then, do you know who MC might have been?
He says that that's probably Maxwell Christensen, who was, for a brief period of time, Dr. St. John's assistant. He was sort of an intern.
Okay. All roads lead back to London indeed, I suppose. I hope that whatever plagues you leaves you be.
I thank you. And she said, would you like some tea?
I would love some.
I'm just about to have a cup. Would you help me with the tray?
Of course.
And brings the tray out.
There's something in the tea.
This time I brought sandwiches.
Okay. Okay. And
Watch it turn out she's a monster and I should have killed her and you're all going to be sad.
Oh, that'd be so
I
awesome.
mean,
It would be,
if this is the way Camilla goes out, this is the way Camilla goes out.
and she says, "There's. May I confide in you?
Of course.
I was actually sent here under. I was brought here by his lordship to look over his son. I do not wish to speak ill of the family because they have done so much for me, but he is somewhat of a black sheep, I'm afraid.
I had heard rumors, of course quiet, no one wants to besmirch his name, but of possibly that heroin may have gotten its hooks within him.
He's been a troubled young man for quite some time. I don't know if it has always been the heroin or if it was something else before. I suspect the heroin is the help that he was reaching for from his other troubles. But his lordship asked me to sort of keep an eye on him, and then he fell in with some very unsavory people. They're very strange, and they're constant. I remember them constantly staring at me like they wanted to murder me. I was terrified all the time. And then one day I was giving a report to his lordship at the manor, and I fell ill. I don't remember much of it, but when I woke, my vision was gone. They said I had come down with the scarlet fever.
Oh.
It was very sudden. I felt fine walking to the manor house. And within hours, apparently I had passed out, and his lordship was kind enough to put me in a bedroom and summon the doctor. And when I woke, nearly a day later, the illness had taken my vision.
I am so sorry. But if the things that you described to me do not seem unfamiliar
How
to
so?
things I may have experienced when we were in the States.
How so?
There was a group that I believe may have been related to several outbreaks of disease. The breeding of mosquitoes and the spreading of yellow fever.
Do you think someone may have given this to me intentionally?
I do not want to alarm you, but it is possible that they wanted to get you out of the way, and I am glad that all it took was your vision and not your life.
Oh my.
For there have been others to suffer from this group's actions.
Well, his lordship was kind enough to put the locks on the door for me because even upon my return, I could hear their menacing whispers. It's like it wasn't enough. They knew for some reason they couldn't intimidate me by staring at me anymore, so they had to verbalize it. And I felt I was in danger, and his lordship sent a handyman to put more locks upon my doors.
Do you know who any of those people might have been?
Well, he's always had many odd friends. But I think, and I don't know many of their names. Most of them aren't local. But I do know that there is a defrocked priest, Patrick O'Leary, and I believe he was from Bath. When he arrived, and he still wore his vestments, which I think is scandalous.
Absolutely, how dare he? I mean, the church had stripped him.
Yes, but he was that when he arrived, that is when things to me felt menacing.
Do the whispers continue?
Well, I tend to stay home. I was trying to continue to fulfill my duty to monitor his lordship's son, but his lordship eventually came in and strongly insisted that I was no longer bound by this, and that I had paid a large enough price.
Well, I think that it is in your best interest to listen to his lordship, as usually as it is for all of us.
Yes.
But in this case especially so. Distance yourself as much as you can.
Yes, I tend to stay home. I go out to the market on Sundays, but and church, of course.
Of course.
But for the most part, I tend to stay home and keep my doors locked. It seems to be the safest thing.
Agreed. And thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
If there's anything else that I can do while I'm in town for the next several weeks.
Thank you. It says, you can always come by for tea.
And that would be so appreciated. Okay, great.
Okay.
And I am going to start a correspondence. I'm going to attempt to start a correspondence with Dr. St. John.
Okay, all right, okay. That we'll fast forward.
Yeah. No, that was like, I figure it's going to take like a couple of weeks there. So
right.
I'm just going to, hang out with Gale and spend some time drawing flowers, like watercolor.
Okay.
Like, practice my watercolor skills. I'm going to draw flowers and easy things and just, like, keep a very, very, like, far eye on Smith's cottage.
Okay. I will say during the time you do see people coming and going. He seems to be back on his feet, and you do see, and you, in fact, see this priest at more than one occasion. Sanity.
I love just for a moment that the character we've met with the most Irish name is from Bath.
That's where he
I know,
was.
I'm just teasing you.
His flock was.
I know.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It might be where his current flock still is.
Right. Okay. So after 1 month of treatment, everyone make a roll. You're going to roll percentile dice, and 1 through 95 is a success.
Oh, God.
1 through 95 is a success.
You had to say that out loud.
If you roll 96 or higher, you have rebelled against your treatment, and you lose 1d6 sanity, and then you have to wait another month.
All right.
This is like the best treatment there is. And this is not technically supposed to be institutional treatment.
Anything but a
All right, I
on
made
a
it.
on a D20.
84.
Jesus, man.
I'm really torn.
All right, 62. There.
Oh. You made it? Okay.
Like, I don't know if I stayed.
Oh, you may have escaped? Because you're kind of in denial that there's anything wrong with you anyway.
But what it did put you in, you would have to actively escape because, like, that was not a...
Was it?
Like, it all seemed super voluntary, but, like...
Oh, you guys were being locked up. I mean, it was very passive. But that doesn't mean that there aren't holes in their security.
Well, it doesn't mean that I can't convince them to let me out because I'm fine.
That's true.
Yeah. Especially you.
Yeah, you do know the exact right things to say.
Yeah. I think I did.
Yeah, okay.
I think he went.
So are you try to convince?
Yeah. Let's see if it worked.
Deception?
I probably don't have that at all. Can I
This is gonna
use
be
my
awesome.
psychology skill?
yeah.
Sure. You
Okay.
can use your psychology
That makes
skill in this case.
No. I'm terrible at everything.
Now, I'll give you this option. If you want, I will let you, let's say after the first week, push that roll.
Yeah.
But
Or
if
you
you
can make
fail,
it out having
get
killed 1d6 people.
but if you fail it, we will assume that you have failed the roll for treatment.
I think that's fair.
That's
Okay.
fair. Yeah.
I'm going to try again.
I like those stakes.
No,
Nice.
I totally made it this time by a lot.
You did. Okay.
There you
Yeah.
go.
All right. So you're in treatment for like a week. Make it just this. There's no horrible thing that happens if you miss this. Roll 1 through 50,
Okay.
and if you make that, I'm going to say that you got some sanity back.
Nope.
Okay, so you didn't. You received no sanity returned, but they stamp your paper well.
Great.
And after a week,
I think he heads off, like... I think Edward's whole idea is to try and get back into the dreamscape
okay,
and do something.
okay,
Like, that's the only place where we've affected any kind of positive motion on this whole fiasco of a journey.
okay,
That's what he's going to go do.
okay.
And I don't know if that means he's lost forever, or I don't know.
Do you want to? Are you sort of retiring the character to bring in a backup?
Kind of.
Okay, all right,
Like, I think maybe he might come back at some point,
okay,
but not for a while.
okay,
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
bold.
okay, cool, yeah.
Bold
All right.
move.
okay.
I respect your choice, sir.
All right.
Ah!
And to introduce our players, do you have a name yet?
I do. Dmitry Andreevich Tupolev.
God.
And what is his?
He is
Profession
a
for it.
Russian military officer.
Oh, okay, awesome. He fought in the war.
Another shooting character.
That only
You said
makes things-
shooty, right?
That only makes things
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
Sorry. It doesn't make things worse for Doris.
Oh, guns give a false sense of security in this game. All right.
Not if you're crazy and convinced that
That's
it
true.
saved you from a hound.
So you now rules is written. You gain 1d3 sanity, but I was thinking about changing this. It's up to you guys. Should we just do it rules as written, or do you want to change?
You know, I'd like to stick to this game as rules as
Okay,
written as
all right.
much as we can.
So a d3. You gain back a d3 in sanity.
So 2.
I have an actual d3 if you
Oh,
want to use an
that-
actual d3.
yeah.
It's never been rolled in an actual roll before.
But fuck that thing.
Oh, here's this pristine die. It's never been used. We never get to use a D3. I'll roll it.
All right.
You've been ignoring me for the last year, you fucker.
There have been times you could have gone for the D3, but you didn't. You always go for the 4. Everybody likes 4s.
All right.
So your temporary insanity is ended.
Okay.
If I gave you a phobia or a mania that involved the Hound of Tyndalos, you can elect to erase that if you like. Your limp remains your limp.
That's fine.
I think I gave you something. I don't remember what I gave you. Oh no, yours is yours
Carries
doesn't go.
gun everywhere. Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's something I wrote on there too, though.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
That
that
doesn't
doesn't,
go
change.
Do
Okay.
I accept that now though?
That happened?
Because my thing before is because the thing that you wrote on my character sheet was that I killed a man in London.
Right.
But that's something that she hasn't accepted because she was having she was seeing things at the time.
Right.
And was convinced that it was a Hound of Tyndalos that she shot.
Right.
Which has been her comfort thing because she can kill them with a gun because that one died. I guess that would depend on whether Camilla told them about me shooting that person.
If she hasn't confronted her delusion, then she can't get rid of the madness, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think you probably have to. I think I think you're right, and that's a prerequisite.
Well, my question is if
They probably put you through like hypnosis or something to the point to recover that memory. That yes, in fact, you shot a guy in the back of the head.
okay, because my thought was if they would probably assume that was just like a insanity dream or something. But if Camilla said she actually heard a person.
Did you mention anything?
Well, I told Isadore at the very least.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't mention it to anybody unless through the course of my therapy, it comes out there.
But honestly,
But I think that would be for him betraying confidence.
Right.
So it'd have to be under duress if that were to happen.
fuck it,
He
I
would-
told them.
You did. Okay. All right.
I didn't give him any details, but
Right.
like, you shot a dude. Like, no.
All right.
I'm definitely afraid you're gonna go out and like randomly kill more innocent people,
Right. Okay.
and
So
it's worth it to stop you from doing that.
So yeah, that comes out in your therapy and through probably not regression therapy, but through
No.
through
So I that's something I know and accept now.
well, something you know.
Okay.
And maybe you're sort of trying to like justify it yourself. Maybe you're he was a mugger and he was attacking me, or I don't know. That's up to you. I'll leave
Yeah.
that entirely up to you.
Okay.
All right. So the month comes to a close. Are you going to meet them at the Sanatorium, or?
I am.
Okay. All right.
Since they sent me word, I feel like I've been in regular correspondence with Dr. Ophelia, with Dr. Sutton. And,
okay, sure.
Just getting updates, finding out. So I found out when
Probably.
Edward was released and that he's disappeared into the ether.
Right.
God rest his soul.
You were probably expecting him to return here, and he never did.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're staying in Hamilton, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Which I figure it's probably like a 2 or 3 hour train ride. Okay. So you meet them at the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want to say that you maybe out in the solarium met with any of these people?
That's fine.
Okay. All right. Your mic is
Okay
muted.
with it.
Your mic is muted.
Sorry.
Okay.
Opening a beverage.
A little tiny bottle of Jameson.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he was there not for eldritch horror purposes.
Shell shock.
Yeah.
Or something. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it was the Great War.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The garages would last hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
But I think then eventually got to talking in the halls.
Well, you and I would automatically probably get up because I'm native Russian too. That's my native language. So if
Oh, yeah, for sure.
yeah. So if we started a conversation, we may have already become acquaintances at that point. That is, if during our treatment we were allowed to mingle with other patients.
Well, I'm figuring this is probably in the last couple weeks of treatment. They probably keep you until they know that you're not going to flaff the handle. They probably keep you close at hand, and then they let you out because they want to let you socialize at some point to kind of normalize it again.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I feel like he was sent here
Mm-hmm.
because he was found like unconscious on the battlefield, and they thought he was British,
Oh, okay, all right,
and they sent him off.
okay.
And then I woke up in a hospital in London, and I spoke Russian and not English.
Right.
And they were like, "This man's got problems," and they sent him farther up into the countryside.
Right. Tied the screw up.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a little of that. Like, it was just a screw up, but then like he really does have shell shock issues.
Right.
You know, he's got war PTSD before that was a thing. Like,
So they called it shell shock.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And so he eventually settled into spending time here to just kind of get back to being able to cope.
Okay.
Kind of has learned some English, but it's not super.
And you were fighting on the
Efficient.
right side in the
Yeah.
Great War, so it's not like they're going to turn you out. But that they would do that anyway in a hospital. But.
No. But yeah, I think it was a mistake that he came here and didn't go back to Russia.
Okay. So you were injured or something happened to you? Was that before or after the Bolshevik Revolution?
Well, after.
Was that? I didn't. Well, that was 1917.
It kind of happened during.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
I mean, it happened at a real bad time.
yeah. Well,
It depends on your point of view.
Well, exactly.
I think
Bad time for the Romanovs.
there weren't a lot of good ones.
No.
So yeah, I think it's probably after.
Okay. All right.
Oh, he's a communist?
Yeah,
Oh, God, then there's going to be problems.
I think that's why that'll make that good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Especially like in a sanatorium, like we're like we start off and we're like, oh, you speak Russian, and then we're talking, and then it slowly filters out like, oh, you left when? Oh,
You worked for whom? Oh.
yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, well, we're friends.
Okay. All right. So, do you have any interaction with him?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, what are some of your hobbies and things that we might bond over? I guess if you're there for a shell shock, you might not be super thrilled talking about guns and shooting.
No, I think he's still okay with guns.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's specifically like artillery and
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom,
Okay.
boom. Yeah.
like
Doris
extra
is-
loud noises are
Yeah.
a problem.
Doris doesn't have really any experience with that, so cool.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably talk about that. She's gone all over the world. She probably has. She's gone to more like exotic and tropical places though in her adventure. She's probably never gone to like Russia or places like that. So she probably talks to you about traveling and sportsmanship things and stuff like that.
Sure. I think he. Trying to think what kind of. Well, he probably just decent horseman.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a cavalryman.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, so she'd totally be into that.
Is that a skill, right?
I didn't take
don't
it
think
because
it
it wasn't on there.
Yeah, right. You
Is it?
start at 5%. Well, it's
Oh.
on my character sheet.
Yeah, right.
I'll fix it.
You also made a total
Oh, yeah.
case, so.
Probably should have
No,
taken that skill.
this is really hardcore, and he's a fucking baby killer communist. I don't talk to him at all.
Okay.
In a fucking
Right.
corner of the other room, just giving him the eye.
Okay. Right.
These
now-
motherfuckers killed my parents.
Oh. Now, were you actually a part of the revolution, or were you stuck in a trench?
I was at the war, but that's the way my homeland has gone.
Okay.
Well, it all depends. If he was part of the actual Bolshevik revolution, then there's going to be some really hard feelings.
Right.
If he actually just was a Russian citizen that fought in World War I because he was conscripted to fight for Mother Russia in World War I and really didn't give a care about communist versus Romanov sort of thing, then there might be some wiggle room.
Okay.
But absolute loathing if he was actually part of the Bolshevik Revolution.
I think
that would be irreparable for him.
Okay.
I think it's much more case number 2.
Yeah.
Like
I guess we're communists now.
it's new czar, same as old czar.
Yeah. You boss him. Yeah, as long as those there's wiggle room in there. But if he was actually part of the communist revolution, yeah, he would contemplate killing him in his sleep. That's how much.
Okay. All right.
I think
They robbed him of everything.
Right.
I think I'm specifically like I'm not that educated about it, and
No, seriously, if you were just a peasant that says, "Here's a fucking rifle, you're fighting for their country," and you had no choice,
Yeah.
totally cool.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But if you had politics in it and you actually had some ideals going into it, no, man, communism is the way to go, then there would be some serious problems.
yeah. No, but I actually think I like the idea that I start talking to you about it because it's like something that kind of has come up. I don't know that much. Like I wasn't there. I haven't been home. I went right from the war to now I've been here in England.
And then we have this conversation. It's like, I didn't see much of the war at all because I was in this. But
yeah,
when
yeah.
I came out, this is what I found out happened, and this is my situation. So depending on how sympathetic you are to that story, then we can move on from there. But yeah, that's cool. Because I was thinking about it, and it's like, no, this is a major part of the character. He hates those guys with
Yeah.
every fiber of his being, yeah.
Okay.
Did they do? I know it was a big thing in World War II. Did they do like USO tours and stuff?
I don't know if the USO existed then.
Well, yeah, but I mean something like that where people would go and entertain the troops in World War One. Never heard of anything like that necessarily.
There
I don't.
was
know.
I saw a show about an all black jazz band that did something, and it might have been one of the first times.
Huh.
Okay. Well, I was thinking Doris could have like gone to entertain the troops or something.
USO was founded in 1941,
Okay, never mind.
and Stalin dies in January of 1924.
Oh,
Not Stalin, Lenin.
Yeah, I was
That's
like, I'm gonna.
That's
disagree
what-
with you.
I want to go. I think Stalin made it through World War
Point
II.
of order.
I seem to remember a picture of him and FDR.
yeah.
Right.
You can't forget that mustache. It's golden.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Then no.
All right. So you go to the lobby, and people start coming out. The people that are being released that have
Is it
cured.
like monthly release day?
Probably something like that.
I'm still calling it July 11th.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me update my date.
It's been a month, therefore.
It's just a jump to the left.
Okay.
I feel like Doris got like one demerit, like I don't know if they have demerits, but something like that on her record. Like, because on the 4th of July, she like tried to get a thing where everybody was celebrating, and just like tried to have a big party, and mostly the British people were like, "What are you?"
And maybe you're like scratching the stuff off of matches to try to make fireworks.
I don't know. I don't know if she goes that far, but she's a little bit of a ruckus on that day.
Okay. All right.
Not enough to get kicked out, but just enough to have a character moment for my time in the sanitarium.
Okay.
Tell you the truth, since it's my adopted country, I play a little lip service to her to make her feel good.
Okay.
I try to calm down some of the other people going, look, she's an American. This is what it's like. You haven't lived there. They just do whatever they want whenever they want. There's no decorum or rules. Everybody's walking around with guns.
Only the
You
people
don't-
with taste.
You don't even want to know what the women wear. I mean,
All right.
Okay. So those two are let out, and do they give you street clothes, or are you back in your uniform?
I think I'm probably back in. You know what? I probably bought something else.
Okay.
yeah, you're probably.
Like I probably buy a suit.
Okay.
Like,
I feel like even with their low level of knowledge and treatment, they'd realize that just sending a person with shell shock back into the world in their uniform might not be a
Not
good
only that,
idea.
if he was found in a Russian uniform and mistaken for a Brit, that's kind of far fetched too, right?
It kind
it
of
was
is.
probably like my uniform was probably destroyed.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
there isn't anything of it.
Okay. All right. Oh, and it probably was infested with stuff, because if you were in a trench,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they probably burned it. Okay. So they
As
let
my wife would say, he's a boy and sticky, so they just burned it.
they let you two out, and they let you out as well. So you all kind of come out the.
Sorry, Dave, what was your character's name again?
Dimitri.
And while we've been in there, we haven't had like dreams or anything.
That's the important question I have is if you guys mentioned any of this.
I feel like Doris would definitely have it first, but then as she was sort of convinced that this isn't real,
Well, maybe keep
this
this
is-
all. Yeah.
Yeah, that, like, and then she'd probably like kind of fade off of talking about it as she was
And then
convinced.
Isadore considers knowledge of this a curse, and he does not wish to curse others with it.
Okay. All right.
now, an important question coming in with a new character. Do I have any prior experiences that give me a preponderance towards?
That's up to you. Because there's enough true believers around the table now where having someone who isn't is fine.
Sure.
I mean, that's up to you. If you want, do you want to have seen something?
I feel like I need some kind of a reason why
Okay.
I'd even go with them.
Okay.
Like,
Well, let me just say, probably a few days into, I'm going to play this out real fast. You guys are back in that dream state, but this is after maybe like a week's worth of therapy, and you wake up in the theater, the hospital theater again. And you can see she who walks between shadows up in the auditorium as well, and the place is empty. And the door that you always go in and out of during these dreams is open, like propped open.
I'm going up there to talk to her if I can.
Okay. Well, you have to go out the door and then up.
Yeah. Go out
Okay.
the door now.
You get to the doorway, and it's a staircase going straight down.
Okay. Is there a railing?
Sure.
Yeah, I grab onto the railing and I go down.
Okay.
Remember, I got a limp.
That's right. That's right. Are you going with him or?
I feel like the minute, like, she's back in this place, she's had a week of, like, sleep. She thinks, oh, this is my safe place from this dream place. I feel like the minute she wakes up, she kind of, like, curls up in the fetal position, just rocking back and forth. This isn't real. This isn't real. They told her this isn't real. This doesn't exist. This is in my mind. And she's, like, trying to wake herself up.
Okay.
Nope. Does not wake up.
Okay.
But is
Now
it
you notice, you can
full-blown
see
fucking
her
denial.
up there, and she's screaming at you, but you can't hear her.
Okay. Not looking at her.
Okay.
Look at her. Not looking at her. Not looking at her. Looking at my knees. Closing my eyes. Rocking back and forth.
Okay. All right. So you head down these stairs, and when you look down, it was dark, but as you're moving, you can kind of see. It's more than just your eyes adjusting to the dark, because it seemed pitch black. You get down to the bottom of the stairs, and there's a small chamber, and there's an opening, and you can see green on the other side of the opening.
It's like one of those portals.
No. That you like foliage.
Oh, all right. So I go out.
Okay, and you walk out into a forest, and you kind of walk a little bit, and there are some animals around that look familiar to you. There's also some that don't look familiar to you. There's like actual flying squirrels, not like squirrels that can glide, but actual like bats, but they look like squirrels. And at one point you look up and you can see the moon, and swear that you can see what looks like a city on the moon. And you kind of walk a little further towards the edge of the forest, and it kind of opens up into a valley, and you can see that there's like a village over here, and you can see in the distance there's a city with a castle, and things look a little weird, but they don't look as disturbing as they did previously in the dreams. And that's probably about the time you wake up.
Okay.
But when you wake up from this, you kind of feel, in the context of the dream, as if you were in a box. But in this case, you felt like you weren't in that box. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
Like you kind of felt like you were constrained, but once you walked down those stairs, it's almost like as if all your previous dream states felt like you were in a prison, and this didn't feel like that at all.
Okay.
This felt very different and bigger.
All right.
And I will say that that's probably the last dream you guys have while you're institutionalized. If you mention being plagued with dreams, they probably have something they put you on that can kind of dampen that a little. Eventually, they're going to wean you off that, of course. But I'll say that was the last of the dreams that you had during that time.
If arts and crafts is any part of the recovery thing,
Of course.
I'm going to see if I can just draw the forested landscape with the village and the castle.
Okay.
I'm going to try it over and over again until I get something that's relatively
Okay.
decent.
You can totally do that.
Did I have any dreams while they were in there? Or is that I'm just cool and even keeled, sane.
Oh, retcon. You may have had this dream the same time they did, and been with them. What would you have done in that situation? She's closing her eyes and saying things aren't real.
Yeah, and you went out and down.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have gone with you.
Okay.
Like, Because I am down for more exploration of the dream world.
Totally down.
And since attempting to wake up Doris is proved futile.
And the other thing you notice, like when you kind of come to the edge of that forest and see this valley, there's like farms and there's farmers. And there's people going about their business. Almost, it doesn't look like Hamlinden, but it's has that kind of vibe to it.
Do I see? How distant am I away from these settlements? Like pretty far, where I can't see people, or I only see little dots moving around.
Oh, you can see some people, and they're people. They look like people.
Okay.
They don't look like aliens with
What kind of clothes are they wearing? Sort of like medieval peasant clothes,
yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, they look more medieval, early Renaissance.
Okay. Because actually, I have a considerable amount of historical knowledge. I might be. Can I try to peg what type of period the architecture is?
Sure.
Like
Yeah,
a
make a
history roll. Make it by 10.
by 10. Yeah, it's probably like mid 16th century European.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
All right, and then fast forward. Boop. Hey, you're cured, party. And they let all of you out. And there's punch and cookies.
Well, I asked for the doctor, see if what happened to him, because I hadn't seen him in a while, and I was wondering what happened. I'll ask the administration.
Oh, you asked the. He was found to be psychologically sound, so he was released perhaps 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
Oh. Okay. At this
Probably
point,
right, like the week right before you guys were allowed to start mingling. That's probably why you never saw him again.
And Camilla's there?
Yeah.
Like, is that? Oh. Camilla, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you as
Gives
well.
a big American hug.
Okay.
How's Dr. Freeman?
I don't know. He never returned to Hamlinden, and I have not been able to find out where he went after he was released.
Oh.
that's alarming.
Well, I mean, I have to admit, if I was let out early, I'd probably make for the hills as well.
Yeah.
As
Or
far
if
as I
you
know,
were,
he did not return to Ravenhearse either.
Really?
I'm not sure where he has gone, and I hope that he is well and hopefully safe wherever he is, but it appears he wanted nothing more to do with any of us.
or he was taken.
Maybe, but from everything I could piece together, he was alone and just took a train the opposite direction.
Well, there's nobody to have taken him, so it's just fine. I'm sure he just wanted to some space from the things that were giving him delusions as well. I can't say that I blame him entirely.
Completely understand. How have the two of you fared?
Well, I have to say I feel much more in control of my senses and faculties.
I am glad to hear it.
Yes. Very much the same.
Although I want to confirm with both of you now that we're away from other ears, whether we had another shared nighttime experience at the hospital
Nope,
that we
I
were
did
at
not.
previously.
Nope. I didn't have any dreams the whole time I was there.
I saw you in my dream, but you were acting very different than what I have encountered to be your nature. So it was probably just all in my head.
Must have been. Like, if you're, like, looking at Doris, she looks a little, like, jarred and uncomfortable. And, like, politely goes and gets Punch away from the conversation. Goes and talks to Dimitri over by the Punch.
Isadore, I have not had a dream in several weeks, but shortly after you began your treatment.
Yes, that I've only had the one, and it was a few weeks ago.
I am glad that they seem to have abated some, though that was quite a bit different than normal.
The feeling once we actually entered the forested area was significantly different. I'm not going to say more pleasant, but maybe less unpleasant.
Yes. Well, I do find that I am a bit intrigued myself to see if I may be able to make my way back to that place.
It would seem...
Especially after silencing the woman in yellow.
The woman in yellow did not seem at all happy that we did that. That makes me very happy. Speaking of things that make me very happy, I haven't had a very good meal in quite some time.
Well, let us be off, and we shall remedy that.
Before we leave, I don't want to be rude. This is my friend Dimitri. This is my associate and friend Camilla.
Oh, very charmed to meet you.
We met during our stay here. We have fairly similar backgrounds, he and I. But we spent a considerable amount of time here enjoying the hospitality.
Yes,
And I just thought it would be nice to introduce you. I know that Doris already knows Dimitri.
Yes, we've gotten to know each other over the last few weeks.
You're completely isolated here, and since we have had the pleasure of becoming friendly, we were about to leave for a meal if you would like to join us.
I would love to. That would be very nice. It's been quite a few years since I've had not institutional food.
But yeah, so we collect everybody and we start going, and I basically sort of like on the side tell Camilla I thought it'd be nice to introduce Dimitri to make us basically a little bit more wary about talking about a situation. I don't think Doris has settled into this as well as I have, so maybe just to feel her a little, make her a little bit more at ease and reintroduce her into things a little bit more subtly.
Okay. Well, I did find a lovely little restaurant in Sutherland. Let us go there.
Okay.
Have a meal.
All right.
Just light chit chat. Ask her what's been going on in the world while during the week we've been away. There were no newspapers or anything going on.
Right.
The usual.
Doris is very excited to have some alcohol.
Okay.
She doesn't get like shit-faced or anything, but she just like orders some the closest thing she can to like good American whiskey. No, American whiskey isn't very good. No, though actually whiskey we do really well.
Fine bourbons.
Yeah,
And rye.
Yeah, there's one of the one things.
American Scotch.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, you probably get Scotch.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yep.
thinking. It's
Right.
like that's probably what they got.
Okay. So you have your meal and any other conversations or?
So, you all have been here in Britain for quite some time now. Do you plan to travel back to America?
I would like to. I have a few other things I need to follow up on in here before we make our way back home. But I can't obviously speak for Doris or Isadore.
Well, I mean, I'd like to make a few more inquiries regarding our other friend who has seemed to have gone missing, just to assure that myself that he is well. But I'm afraid that we have been away from our responsibilities in the States for a considerable amount of time, and it may have had negative repercussions. But I have been working on my American citizenship, so it is very likely that I will be returning.
Yeah, I'm going home. Like to wait for these two, but I don't have much that holds me here. Although I am concerned about Dr. Freedman as well. But he is a grown-up man with his big boy pants on, so There's only so much that we can do.
Have you heard from Dr. Kistler at all?
We kept up a casual correspondence. He also had no
Good.
word from Edward, so I was able to arrange something like a extended research trip for myself from the university. And I explained that you two were or the three of you were recovering from some injuries sustained during the journey. And that also was why you weren't in contact.
Well, I think that sometime today I should pen a letter and try to reconcile with our masters over at the university. But since you are self-employed, I suppose you have very little problem with that.
Yeah, I suppose I probably lost my semester as a guest lecturer, but really I was just doing that to promote my book anyway.
What plans do you have, Dmitri? Do you wish to return to Mother Russia?
I do, but I have not been able to find any of my family. I have been trying to write, but have not gotten any word back. I may see about finding a job or something here to make some money to travel home.
That does seem wise.
Well, you seem strong and fit. I'm certain you'll be able to find something around here. Do you
I
have
hope
any?
so.
Did you have any skills before you joined the military?
Well, I figured he was probably pretty young. I mean, he's probably mid-20s now. Well, no, later than that, because it's been 10 years since the end of the war.
No, it's 1923.
5 years.
Yeah. He could have been like 16.
Yeah, that's true.
He could
Remember
be-
things-
Yeah, so mid-late 20s. I did a little research for changing my origin story a little.
Mhm.
Captured by the Germans,
Oh, okay. All right.
and then freed at the end of the war, but got sent the wrong direction
Got it.
because he was pretty unresponsive.
Right.
The battle where he was captured was horrendous.
Yeah, and that the Russian and the Germans are really well known for poor record keeping. So, just
You know, can we write down something real quick with our
Yeah.
relationship? I feel like at some point, especially if you're like, yeah, I haven't found my family, I feel like at some point Doris would be like, that would make an amazing book. Usually I'm out finding these lost temples and things like that. If I find this guy helped find his family after the war, that would be a bestseller. Like maybe we've made an agreement that I can like write a book about, write in
Sure.
quotes, a book about you.
I would tell my story. Become very popular. Maybe make movies. Like Charlie Chaplin.
So like,
I have sour
Doris,
news for
yeah.
that mustache in the future.
because that gives Doris like a very strong interest in you and a reason that we would
Yeah.
stay together and
I
travel
like it.
together.
No, I like it.
Okay.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to. I was trying to come up like if I've had some occult experience or something that twigged when you first came out and you were talking about like the dream, like if it was something that I've heard of,
Maybe.
Okay. So you guys head back to Hamlinden? Right.
Sure.
Back on the train to Hamlinden? And you're back in Hamlinden.
Yeah.
And you've already probably had already arranged for...
Yes,
I
I arranged for rooms for everyone,
Right.
and we can add one more, no problem.
Okay.
And then, do I have any response to my correspondence with St. John?
He did write back. What sorts of things were you asking?
Well, I did want to ask him, mostly I've become interested and I've heard of these journals written by Arthur Aidan Edwards, who I understand was a colleague or a classmate of yours who you kept in contact with. I would love to know more about his works. They've come of very great interest to me.
Okay.
And then also, like, if you knew the whereabouts of your former aide, Christensen.
Oh, okay. All right. He tells you that Maxwell Christensen was indeed his aide, and he was sent away on an errand and never returned.
Whereabouts?
He was actually sent to a publishing house because they were, quite coincidentally, publishing some of the works by Arthur Aiden, whose last name escapes me. Edwards, Arthur Aiden Edwards, who had died about 2 years prior, but there was a publishing house that had taken his collected works and was starting to publish them. Some of them were academic works. Some of them were, he said, believed to be works of speculative fiction, he said.
What publisher was this? Does he say in his letter?
Give me a second.
So Edwards has been dead for a couple of years now?
Yeah. Well, no, longer than that. Because this Maxwell Christensen had worked for him at least a decade prior.
Okay, so
he would probably died in the
1970s.
19-aughts.
Oh, okay.
It's just the Harper Publishing House.
Okay. As in the Harper who owns...
Yes, in fact, he tells you, yes, it's the same newspaperman who purchased the Trask estate.
The same Jonathan Harper.
Nathaniel Harper.
Thank you. Yeah, Nathaniel Harper. Okay. I would love... I'm just gonna write back and say I find myself, I might return to London soon. If you know Mr. Harper and could arrange an introduction, it would be very beneficial to my research. And I know the Ravenhearse University would also appreciate it.
This will all happen before. He will tell you that we are not on the best of terms, but I could certainly introduce you to someone who might be able to introduce you to him. But if I were to make the recommendation, I don't think he would ever see you.
Well, it would be much appreciated any help you could give.
Of course. Signed, Dr. St. John.
Okay. I found myself unwilling to go straight to go to Bath to follow up on any of the goings-on that may have happened there, but London might be a better place to find out more about mutual acquaintances and information that may help us.
Maybe we might be able to uncover some more literature that might shed some more light on this too, if we're dealing with somebody who is trafficking in books by these people. So I agree. And not only that, but it'll allow us some time to see if there are any further ramifications from the night at the hotel.
True.
London may not be as welcoming a place as it was before.
Though hopefully it may have blown over a bit, and things have changed considerably since. At least circumstances have.
There you go. You're free to travel to London with us. At the big city, you'll probably have a much better chance of finding some legitimate work.
I would like to see London from outside the building. Certainly. I have many more stories to tell.
I'm certain that if you're working with Doris, well, I'll tell you what. Doris does have an eye for these kind of things, and you're in good hands if you wish to partner with her in that. I would be more than happy to vouch for her credentials in that point.
She told me she was one of the most famous authors in America.
As long as he has positive things to say about Doris, I'm certain she'd be the first to tell you. But I can't corroborate that she is very well established and is very good at making these type of stories shine. And you may meet with some success.
Someday I would like to find a place where she could show her quick draw. She told stories. The Wild West, the cowboys.
Well, there is a traveling Wild West show that might come back through England sometime.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
I am not as romantically enamored with those sort of things, but I'd be happy to point them out to you if they do come across the way. I would have figured that someone who had been through what you have been through would have seen enough of firearms to last them a lifetime.
Well, they are useful tools. They accomplish many things, from entertainment to horror.
Or to waking sleeping men, I've discovered.
Well, I have been awakened by the guns many times.
I'm certain you have, my friend. I'm certain you have. All right, so I think that we've decided that our next step is London. Is there any other... Are there any other motions put forward to the committee?
Doris, would we have to stop by that little town on
Well,
the way?
you're in the hamlet.
We're
right
in
now.
here.
Okay, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, you got rooms for the night.
Okay, I go and get my gun from
Okay.
Gale.
When you walk, you're walking down the road because that was like a little group of like small flats all scrunched together. You see across the street, there's like a bench in front of someone's house, and you see someone sitting on the bench. Like they're like looking at the house, and then when they see you walk up, they kind of look at you and they kind of look away. They do this thing.
Where it's totally subtle.
Not even close.
Yeah, no.
It's the front
Sit
of
casual.
Gale's house?
Yes.
All right,
Gale Northope.
all right. I go and knock on the door.
What is it?
Gale, it's Doris. Do you remember you have my property?
Oh, thank goodness. Come in, please, quickly.
All right, all right. Hello. All right. How are you?
They've been bothering me.
Oh, who has?
These people that have been frequenting his lordship's son's cottage.
Oh.
I believe I told your associate Camilla about it.
Oh, well, we haven't talked much on our vacation about our time here, and I'm sure she thought it must have been in confidence.
Oh, yes, they're quite intimidating.
Oh, like that one sitting across the street on the bench there? Yeah.
Is there one there?
There is. They don't look too intimidating. I know you can't see that, but I mean, really.
I can hear them. I can hear them walking around my house in the middle of the night.
In your house?
Oh, no, around the outside.
Oh.
I can hear them coming through the back garden gate, and I can hear them walking up onto my porch. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're trying to get in, thinking maybe I'll leave the door unlocked. I don't know. but they won't leave me alone.
That is concerning. Perhaps you should move or get a large dog.
I suppose I could. I can't move, but I suppose I could get a dog.
They're very helpful creatures.
Yes.
I miss mine. But why can't you move, Gale?
Well, I can't afford to. His lordship is paying for this house for me.
Ah, I see. Have you talked to his lordship about these people?
I can't get out to go do so. I'm afraid to leave.
Oh. Well, just a moment. I'm a little worried about her.
Okay.
Also, is this real? Is this, she is obviously a little paranoid anyway. So I'm going to go look around her. Can I go? Should let me in her back garden?
Sure.
I'm going to look around and see if there's, footprints or anything, people that have actually been walking through it.
There are.
Oh, okay.
There are.
Then I definitely take her seriously. Well, why don't we go up and see the Lord together then, and I will protect you on the way.
Oh, that would be wonderful. I believe it's a little too late to call on him. Perhaps in the morning?
Yes, absolutely. This seems like a bit of an emergency. Would you like to stay at the B&B with me and my friends tonight?
If I don't want to impose.
I mean,
would you?
That's fine. You were
Would you,
very gracious to us.
I have some spare bedrooms. Perhaps you would like to stay here.
Well, if they have found a way in, or if they've been casing this place for some time, it may be safer to stay somewhere else.
Oh, I suppose that's true. Okay.
All right.
Oh, let me get your property.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
She gives it to you. It's loaded.
Oh.
Good
All
for
right.
her.
Yeah,
Good for
good on
her.
Good for her, but that. All right, it's fine. Well, yeah.
No, we're just judging you, Kimi.
I know,
Haven't you really
it's-
actually caught on to that? It's just...
Yeah, that's okay. She was going to load it anyway. Now that she's actually found footprints in this lady's backyard and seen this creepy guy across the street, she's she doesn't think she's in danger. She's been convinced by the Sanatorium that all that stuff was kind of delusions.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, oh no, but there are still bad people in the world, and she wants to help this little old lady.
And Jim, your mic is muted.
So yeah, so she's gonna. Why don't you grab some things and then we'll go.
Oh, okay.
And then going to escort her.
He comes down with a big sewing bag.
Yeah, that's very cute. To the B&B.
Okay. And that person is not there now
Okay.
when you leave.
Well, Gale, that person's no longer there, so you probably are just fine.
Thank you. It is a relief. Living alone in my condition has been very difficult, I must say. His lordship does send someone to do housekeeping for me, but I told him I could take care of it myself.
Oh, that's good.
He is a very kind man.
Yeah, it sounds like he is paying for your accommodation and for a housekeeper. I've never been able to find a man that would do that.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay, and you make it back to the B&B.
So I walk in with Gale and her sewing bag. Gale, you know two of my friends, Camilla and Isadore, and then this is my new friend Dimitri. He's a veteran of the Great War.
Oh, it is a pleasure to meet you.
Good evening, madam.
And then she says, in Russian, do you speak Russian?
Oh.
Where did you find this wonderful lady?
I say in Russian, I had no idea. I was like, a bottle of vodka at this table.
And she says that she served in the war as a nurse, and on a couple of occasions had Russian soldiers come through, and then she was at a convalescent home where some injured Russian soldiers who lost their legs had taught her at least a little bit of Russian.
All right, so we start sharing stories.
Oh, yeah. Australia!
very happy to see Gale so well after. I know she's been having a rough time.
I am, while they're kind of like celebrating, I am going to take Camilla off to the side and then explain, like, she's been having people bother her.
Well, she had told me that the people who Smith fell in with a bad crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I think one of them may have transmitted scarlet fever to her.
Really?
And that is how she became blind.
Goodness.
And then they were whispering, they were following her when she went out afterwards. That's why she had so many locks on her door.
Yeah, they still are following her. There was someone sitting across the street very clearly watching her house. And she says that she's heard them walking around the perimeter at night.
She hadn't said anything about that to me before, or I would have tried to get her out of there sooner.
Yeah,
I mean, the only reason why I left it alone and didn't mention anything to you was because I thought that with her distance from the situation, she might have been safe.
Of course, yeah. And, well, I mean, I don't know the situation, but yeah, it's obvious that they're picking on this poor woman. I looked in her back garden, and definitely someone's been tromping around back there that's not her.
That's awful. I mean, it's bad enough that they blinded her.
Terrible.
She told me about some of the people, and I've seen them myself go to and from the artist cottage, and honestly, it gives me a uneasy feeling, the resemblance to the cult that we came across back in the States.
Oh,
the Amherst and the rest of them. And just how, you know how they were so harmful to others.
I'm sure it's just some people who are taking advantage of the Lord's Son. I mean, he is an addict. It's easy to get money from them.
But if they thought that she might still have any influence with him, then they might think that she would be an obstacle to be gotten out of the way.
Exactly. So they just don't want their piggy bank of a lord who, with his heroin problem, to have a babysitter anymore.
Whatever it takes to get Gale safe.
Yes, indeed.
That's what I really care about here.
Yes. Unfortunately, it sounds like relocating her is going to be rather difficult.
Well, one way or another, we'll figure something out.
I think it's best she wants to go, if we go speak to the Lord with her tomorrow. She's afraid to go without an escort.
Oh, well then, we shall provide.
Yes. And then she joins in the drinking revelry.
Okay. Alrighty. Anything else anyone doing this evening?
Do I get word that somebody's been harassing this lady?
Don't know you well enough yet.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I think I would trust you with that, but I just don't think she wants to say that in front of Gale, and I don't think she's going to have an opportunity to be away from Gale.
That's totally fair. I was just
Also-
curious if that came up.
You know, I'll start inquiring with Gail about how she's been doing lately. Does it come up in general conversation that she?
She'll share it, probably in Russian.
When she mentions that, I start getting a little concerned, and I go, "Oh, I'm hoping that our presence hasn't drawn any undue attention to you. I'm very worried about you, and I'm glad that you decided to stay with us."
Indeed.
But
you will be very safe.
Okay.
What kind of role is it to sort of like size her up in general and just in her general intent, and just take a really good hard look at her now that our hair is down and I'm just trying to, get her in conversation and comfortable. I just want to be sure.
We're drinking with an old lady drunk.
Yeah.
It's a special level.
Well, obviously you don't know a lot of Russians.
No. But I mean, there's the general heritage of drinking, but then there's like I, as a 20-something-year-old, am sitting down with an old lady and just getting tore up.
Yeah, but I'm later on in life too. I'm in like early 50s, right? Am I? No, 42. I'm in my 40s, so it's kind of like in between. I
Yeah.
bridged the gap.
That would be psychology.
Oh, great.
You have it at 10. by
I do.
default.
I do have it at 10. How did you know?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can have a 70 and fail it every single time.
Huh. Except the last
The last time I made a roll, I was like, I didn't mark that.
But not tragically bad, just bad.
I'll let you roll a second tens.
Okay.
Because you guys are drinking.
No, exact same result actually.
Okay.
Funny. That's cool.
Okay, so you guys drink through the night, and you make an arrangements to have a cot brought up, or you get in a second, or third room, or
I'll
fourth. Are you at 2 rooms or 3 rooms?
2.
Two.
Oh,
Yeah, I can share a room. I can share. It's not a problem.
Doris probably lets Gale have the bed and like takes the cot.
Okay.
She slept in much worse places.
Okay.
And now that she's actually sleeping well, she's fine.
Right. Okay. You wake up in the hospital theater.
Okay.
All of us?
It is all of you. It is all 5 of you.
Oh, shit.
Gale, too?
Mm-hmm.
You're mean to this old lady, Stu.
And you can now tell that there is glass separating the theater seating above the operating room from the operating room. It's almost like there's like a sheet of glass, and you can see her up there still, and she is screaming and looks furious. And then the door that you always go in and out of is open again.
We should go this way.
Nope.
What is
No.
this?
Trust me.
Rocking
we should
back
go
and
this
forth.
way.
This isn't real. This isn't real.
If it isn't real,
This
it can't
isn't
hurt
real.
you. Then
This
just,
isn't real.
It's not real.
This
Come on.
isn't real.
Just
No. Why would we leave?
because
not?
it's not real, and it could only be better out of here.
No.
Trust
No,
me.
we emphatically have seen that is not true. It
How?
can be much worse outside.
how is it worse?
That there's blood and
Where?
big
Where-
towers.
Big
and
towers don't
desert.
hurt you. Desert doesn't hurt you either. You've been in tons of deserts.
Not in my dreams. I'm fine here. Everything's fine here. I'll wake up in a minute. Everything's fine. Everything's
Well, if you
fine.
want to stay here, you're going to have to fight me, Doris.
What is happening?
You got to come with me. Trust me. You won't regret it.
No.
Come on.
I mean,
Come on. It's
You
okay. Whatever
You are
we're doing,
bravest
she
woman in the
hates.
American West.
I understand that I think that about myself,
Come.
and this is why you're saying it in my dream, Dimitri. But there are times you have to be wiser, which is why I think Camilla is here in my dream to make sure I make wise choices.
Also believes that we should go. Let's go. Let's be brave and wise at the same time.
Who is this?
Don't pay any attention to her.
She's not real. Yeah.
Where is this place?
We
What
are
is happening?
We are sharing a dream.
No.
I had much more
We're not
to drink
sharing.
than I thought.
It's not real.
Let's go.
No,
There is a
Gale's
much better
here,
place out there.
and Gale can't hike across the desert. That's
Gale,
not.
can Gale see here?
She is yes,
Whoa.
yes, she can.
Oh.
And she's sort of quietly sitting on the gurney. She's sitting up, and she's like looking at all of you.
Gale, would you like to see something amazing?
This is the strangest dream I've ever had. Certainly.
Wonderful. Let's go. And we take Isadore and I take Gale and go.
All right, I start following with Gale because I feel obligated to help protect Gale.
Dimitri, you can come with us or not. I highly suggest you do.
Do I have a gun in this dream?
Well, I suppose I will. All right. Let's go, I guess.
All right, go.
Okay.
It's just a dream. It's fine.
You want to try to wake up?
Well, I'm trying to. I think I am awake.
Okay. All right.
Or like. I think inside he's terrified that he had another time period lost
Oh, okay. All right.
and woke up in another institution, but now his people that he just met are here, and
Oh, Dimitri, it's a dream.
Yeah. You're sleeping right now.
It's all
okay,
right. It's
It's
just
okay.
a dream. Let's go see what we can
We're
see.
just going to see what we can see.
all right. This is very strange.
Oh, yes. Most adventures are.
Okay. So you travel down, if anyone counts, 77 stairs.
Nope.
Okay. And you end up in sort of this stone hut, and there's an opening, and then beyond the opening you can see a forest.
This is bad.
Smells
This
like
is
a
bad.
forest.
This is bad.
No, whatever
No,
this
it
is,
isn't.
that woman hates. So I'm all for it.
Forest.
No, I smack Doris. Snap out of this, Doris.
Doris turned around and fucking slugs the shit out of him.
She fights back.
All right, so you probably the slap probably happens.
Yeah.
You'll assume that just happened. So go ahead and roll the slugging the shit out of it.
All right.
And you're
What do I
fighting
roll
back.
for that?
Oh,
Fighting.
Oh,
You roll
brawling?
fight,
Our first-
like fighting brawl.
Our first actual combat
Yeah.
is between player
I don't
characters.
Yeah.
I love it.
Brawling is a skill in
I do.
It is.
It's under,
Oh no, I do. It's under fighting. It's
There
not
you go.
alphabetical.
Let me find the rules real quick. 'Cause-
Okay.
okay. Here's what fist fights. You are fighting back, which means you both roll, and I need to know what kind of success you get. You're either going to get a regular success, which means you're under your skill. You're going to have
The half and then the 5%.
the half and the fifth, or a fumble, a failure, etc.
Nope, I
Wow.
failed completely.
I got a 5.
I got a 98.
That is my 5%.
Okay, what's your brawling skill?
45.
Well, that's a critical failure.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So you critically failed,
holy shit.
and
The dice was game of magic.
I think you roll what's your base damage?
Yeah, my my damage bonus is 0. My base damage is 1d3 plus damage bonus, so I do 1d3 damage.
So roll 2d3
Okay.
because you got a good success and she leaned into it.
8.
2d3.
2d3, so that's 4. Sorry.
4. So you take 4 points of damage to the face.
To the face. Do I wake up?
Make a power roll.
Okay.
You might.
With a additional dice? I just lost 4
I
points
think
damage.
I think it comes down to whether or not you want to wake up.
Yeah.
Oh, she doesn't like being here.
So
Okay.
I don't know then.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Also, you're getting beat up by a spindly little dude.
that is helping to convince her this is 100% a dream in her head. He would never actually hit me in real life, so this gotta be a dream. I'll just roll regular dice.
Okay.
67, no. Nope.
No. Okay. You hit the deck. Boom.
Okay.
Popped you in the face. So how many? That's
I
you took
haven't-
4 points.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of hit points in this game.
I don't. I have 15.
Right.
That's actually a lot.
Yeah.
I got 12.
I have 11.
All right. So he clocked you.
All right.
Well, I told her if she didn't want to come along, she's going to have to fight me.
I think I'm more like
Just baffled as out.
I'm just going to ignore it. I'm just ignoring it. I'm like, no. I'm not getting distracted by this nonsense.
I love you, Jim.
I know.
Okay.
It's okay.
I think Doris is pissed and draws her fucking gun.
Do it.
All right.
This isn't real. We need to wake up.
Then feel free to wake yourself up.
I'm trying. But, I don't know, maybe because we're all here again. This isn't... They said this wasn't real in the Sanatorium. They told me that this place wasn't real. Like, this was all just in my head.
Then what's the harm in just following us for a little bit?
Because it's obviously not. Obviously, there's something real about it. Otherwise, we wouldn't all be back here again.
Yeah, something real about it, all right. I've never really hit anyone before.
Hope your hand hurts.
It does. Thank you very much. Look, Doris, just
We have to
follow
get out
me.
of here.
Follow me out of this hut, and then I won't make any more demands of you at all.
Better not.
Promise.
Lucky shot.
Look, I suckered you. It's okay.
But,
In
you
the
know, at least
future,
you're not a wee
strike-
big ball of mess anymore. So, yay for small favors.
Doris cocks her gun.
Okay.
Doris,
Let's go.
If I have to have you forcibly committed again, I will.
Says the woman talking to me in a dream. She storms through the king out to the forest.
All right. This is very strange. I'm actually going to talk to you Russian. It's very strange, I know, but it'll start making more
See what
sense
this
later on.
forest is like.
Yeah.
Can you describe the forest one more time? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
It is a brilliant green, kind of dappled sunlight, and it looks like a deciduous forest. Some of the trees look a little weird. There are animals that exist in forests on Earth, and there's also seems to be some animals and sounds of animals that don't sound like anything you've ever heard before.
okay. As long as it doesn't look specifically like that forest,
Oh.
then we're okay.
No. It might. Well, it might be. It might bring back some memories of that.
Oh, great. We're triggering the vet. Great.
It's fine. There were animals here. There were no animals
There were
when
no
I was in the forest.
No, they had left long after the battle. So. Okay. So you guys follow down the.
No, when we go outside, I'm like, hold on. Take stock in how you feel. Compare it how all these other dreamscapes has felt. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a larger space. Like I'm more real here than I was before. Kind of. It's hard to articulate. But just take a deep breath and just sense this place. Does anybody else feel anything?
It depends how open your mind is.
My mind is not. I feel my face hurting right now.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
What am I wearing here?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What does when your character dreams? What does he normally? What kind of clothes is he in? Do you know?
Well, I think
Mostly
over the
uniform.
past 10 years, yeah, it's all...
That's probably what you're in. You're
Okay.
probably in your uniform. But it probably looks brand new.
Stranger and stranger.
You can even feel those uncomfortable wraps they use instead of socks.
I'm gonna
But they're not wet. It's okay.
Yes.
It's always a plus. I'm gonna see if I can quick step down to the village.
Okay. You're rolling dreaming.
Oh, yeah. Did you get all zeros?
Got all zeros.
That's
Is that
100.
a good thing?
That's 100. That's a critical failure.
Oh,
That's super
that's a
bad.
very bad thing.
oh.
I was like, yes, I rolled the best. Nope. Worst I could roll. Literal worst I could roll.
Oh, man.
Oops.
I want to end it right there because I want to prepare that because that's a real.
Oh, yeah, just let her stew in it for 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
Get it, stew in it.
That's brutal.
And I'm going to mark down the date as July. This would be still be the 11th. Well, it's
It's
either
the
11th
night
or
of the 11th.
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, man.
Oh, and I just want to mention that so far you guys aren't in trouble for. For a leave of absence. That wouldn't happen until you start approaching the beginning of the next school year.
Okay.
Which would probably got a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd
I'm
want you
saying,
back by
with
August.
the travel over here, the time we've already spent, then the time we spent convalescing, that's been almost 2 months
Oh yeah.
worth of time.
Yeah.
So I'm starting going, anything past 3 months, you're going to go, yeah, here's your fucking walking papers, dude.
Right. Right. Well, it will certainly if you don't make it back in time to prepare for the
Yeah.
fall semester classes. Yeah. Okay. Let me write this. Make a note here.
Very wrong. I'm just going to put at the end of this journal entry is, but something went very, very wrong.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I was full on expecting Doris to just shoot me. Fully what I was expecting.
I was
to
like,
happen.
this is the whole point of going to the Sanatorium was you would stop just shooting people.
She's still her character.
Especially like she's the only one who doesn't want to be in this place, and like
Right.
she's like that's the most sane thing of all. They're like, let's explore this crazy place. She's like, no. Actually, I think the only thing that saved her from shooting you is that she is suddenly, like, thinking this place might be real. If she was still 100% convinced this was just a dream, she would have shot you just thinking it was a dream.
My whole thing was like, Isadore, you gotta do fight or flight in her, or else she's just not gonna respond.
Right.
That you don't deal with irrational people reasonably. You can't do that. You either make them scared or you make them angry. It's the only way to go. So I go, I'm taking my life in my own hands. This incredibly competent shooty person, I'm going to punch her right in the face.
That was fantastic.
That was great. I really liked it.
Yeah.
The fact that you critically failed and he critically succeeded.
Yeah,
that is just amazing.
It's nice to know what's perfect.
Clocked you.
Once again, the super swinginess of these dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's good. All right. So what do we have happening this week?
Tomorrow.
You've got a thing, Dave.
Yeah, my first episode of the Things from the Flood.
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
See
Very
how
exciting.
depressing we can make it.
Right.
It is. It's super dark.
Oh, it's gonna get worse.
Exciting.
No, I remember the 90s. I hated it.
Need, I meant to do a grunge version of the AP song. If I can get it done. Well, I don't know if I can get it done.
You've got like 12 hours.
I don't know if I can get it done. maybe by episode 2.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we'll appreciate it whenever it arrives.
Okay.
That'd be awesome.
And what's on Wednesday? Is there a game on Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday we are doing masks again. So it's Eidolon Academy, and it's going to be every Wednesday. Except we're playing this Wednesday, but not the Wednesday after that, since it's the day before U.S. Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And a bunch of us have family in town, and people staying with us and things like that. But yeah, it's very exciting. I stole your thing, and I totally left them on a cliffhanger.
Oh, good.
Like they did this crazy thing, and it's like, and we're gonna end there, and they were just like, no.
Right.
It's a good power trip. I see what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. And it gives you time to prepare.
Right, and then like you said, like you know exactly where they start the next session. There's no like, what did you decide to do in this week since we played that?
This is, I heard, Stu's a horrible person and he's turning you into one. That's all.
Yeah, that's all. Accurate.
Stu is evil and he's turned you to the dark side. Check.
And what's the one shot? Saturday?
The one shot coming up, Samantha's doing her GMing for the first time.
Oh, awesome.
And
Great.
she's GMing Monster of the Week. So we've had a bunch of people. Pooja did hers like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So it's very, very exciting.
Excellent.
So, and she's doing a Monster of the Week, but it's Samantha. I'm not going to give away what it is, but it's weird.
It's going to be creepy.
It'll
It'll
be
be
sparkly.
Sam.
Sparkly, creepy, weird.
Yeah,
Awesome.
exactly.
Love
Yeah.
it. Love it. Want more?
And then next Sunday we have what will probably be the final session of the Mongoose Traveler campaign.
Yes.
Exodus.
Yes.
So, I think.
Very good. We'll see.
Yep. And then, yeah. All right. Thank you very much. And happyjacks.org/shows to find out about all of our stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Along the shore, the cloud waves break, the twin suns sink behind the lake, and the shadows lengthen in Carcosa. Strange is the night where black stars rise, strange moon circle through the skies, much strange as
The preceding program has been a presentation of the Angry Folk Media Empire.